Fathers podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal advice. If you are going through the family law court process, particularly as a father, then this podcast may be relevant to what you may experience. Some things we discuss in these episodes may be triggering, and if you suffer from any form of mental health related conditions or subject to domestic or family violence and need any assistance, then please call 1-800-RESPECT in Lifeline. The views and experiences discussed by people on our show are not necessarily the views and opinions of Broken Fathers podcast or their guest speakers. We strongly advise you seek your own independent legal and professional advice, as the Broken Fathers podcast will not be liable, answerable, or accountable for any loss or damage or litigation resulting from discussions on our platform. Right, this podcast is now in session. Hold on, guys. The judge is running late to court. So whilst we wait, I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge our platinum sponsor, Straight Up Construction. At Straight Up Construction, they take pride in delivering high-end work across every trade. From new builds to renovations, no job is too big or too small. Director Luke Miller and his dedicated team tackle every project with integrity, hard work, honesty, and a commitment to delivering superior quality results every time. Straight Up Construction is built on the belief that strong foundations matter just as much in the bones of a home as they do in the heart of one. Families should stand strong, and every loving parent should maintain their right to be a part of their children's lives. Straight Up Construction believes that in true Aussie spirit, everyone deserves a fair go. That's why we're proud to have Straight Up Construction as our platinum sponsor. With their support, we continue to produce the Broken Fathers podcast and shine a light on the struggles of men who have been let down by the system. Good morning, listeners and viewers, and welcome back to the Broken Fathers podcast, Australia's first and only podcast dedicated to addressing family court issues from the perspective of fathers. I'm your host, Percy. Now, before I introduce my next guest, just a reminder, the link for my podcast merchandise is in our bio on Insta, Facebook, and TikTok, or just go straight to fkvx.au. Now, today's guest has lived through a journey that many would find impossible to comprehend. What began as a complicated relationship spanning more than 15 years ultimately led to a battle that has consumed over a decade of his life. Since 2015, he has faced more than 36 court appearances across 2 states, over 20 arrests, time spent in custody, and legal costs exceeding $70,000, all while maintaining that he has never been convicted of or charged with a criminal offence. At the heart of his story is the loss of contact with his 2 daughters, whom he has not seen since 2018. He says his attempts to maintain a relationship with his children resulted in ongoing legal battles, intervention orders, and a warrant that remains active today. Determined to better understand the system he found himself fighting against, he completed a diploma in crime and justice and has spent years researching the legal processes that have shaped his life. Despite everything he has endured, he has rebuilt. Today, he is happily married, runs a growing real estate business, works part-time as a chef, and recently celebrated 10 years of volunteer service with Meals on Wheels. His story raises difficult questions about family law, intervention orders, parental separation, and what happens when allegations and legal proceedings reshape a person's life. Today, he's here to share his experiences, his perspective, and why he believes his story needs to be heard. Please welcome today's guest, Adrian Perez.
Hey Percy, how you going?
Mate, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Mate, like all my guests, first of all, thank you for taking your time out of your day. You've actually helped me behind the scenes with this episode, so I appreciate that.
No, that's okay.
And yeah, like all my guests, before we crack into the circus of court, I think it's important to get to know a little bit about my guests and what life was like for Adrian growing up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I grew up in Adelaide.
Oh, Adelaide, yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I was an Adelaide Crow supporter.
Yep.
So you just live and breathe football. And I loved growing up in Adelaide. I think Adelaide was like the perfect way to grow up because it's such a small city that all my mates were from all over the world. English, Irish, Italian, Aussie, Vietnamese, Polish, and so there's a little bit of everything. I was a bit of a naughty kid. I went to I think 7 schools altogether.
Oh, yeah.
Got expelled a couple of times, but for doing stupid stuff, cracking jokes. I'm a goofball.
Yep.
Yeah. Parents had a bakery, and so that meant I was a baker, whether I liked it or not. School holidays, working in the milk bars and stuff like that, and then just grew up doing music, and so left Adelaide when I was 23. A year in Sydney, a decade in Melbourne, where I met the girl's mum.
Mate, your surname, what nationality are your parents?
My dad's from Uruguay and my mum's from Nicaragua.
Where's that?
Nicaragua is Central America. You know, the Panama Canal.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they both left because of politics and dictatorship and violence and all that. Came to Australia in 1974, and I was born here. So don't ask me anything in Spanish. It's bad.
Is your parents still together today?
No, my mum passed away last year, and unfortunately, I don't have a relationship with my old man.
Yeah, okay.
You know, that's been strained since I was like 11. I'm going to be 50 soon.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I've probably spoken to him 3 or 4 times in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Siblings?
Yeah, I've got a sister.
Yep.
Don't have anything to do with her.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, in our family dynamic, there was just 4 of us, and it was kind of like me and my mum, and my dad and my sister. And when my mum passed away, and just things that we were going through, I really had no reason to be involved with my sister and my dad. I mean, that could be a whole other episode, couldn't it?
A whole podcast.
Yeah. But I loved growing up in Adelaide. I loved living in Melbourne for a bit.
Yep.
And as soon as I came to Queensland, it was home.
I've never been to Adelaide. I hated Melbourne. Lasted there 10 months. But, mate, what was your first job? Or job fresh out of school?
Fresh out of school I was a baker.
Yeah, that's right. So you would have ate well, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm 5'6". When you're 85 kilos and 5'6", your parents have a back. There wasn't muscle. It was all jelly. So no, it was enjoyable, you know. But yeah, I was a baker. I didn't finish school. You know, I finished year 10. That was it.
Yep.
And then just worked as a chef and as a baker. Our full-time job for 7 years was as an entertainer.
Yep.
So just singing and dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah, nice.
I really love doing that. And that allowed me to travel around Australia and a couple times overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't make any money from it because I wasn't very good. So, you know, I always say to people I spent probably $250,000 on demos and lessons and all that just to make $250,000 back.
Wow.
Yeah, but I don't regret it. It was so much fun.
I was going to say, what type of dancing were you doing?
Yeah, that was boy band stuff. It was like
I thought you might have been, you remember Jamie Jury? The guy that, what's it called? The Australia Thunder or something? Down Under?
Yeah, no, you need muscles and height for that. I didn't have either.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was my life. It was really, really good growing up.
Yeah. That's
you
good,
know,
man.
like I didn't have the family dynamics I wanted, you know, like Sunday meals together or dad wasn't present. Mum was always working and my sister and I didn't have a relationship, but I had a great time.
Yeah.
You know, playing soccer, footy, my mates. It's everything that we say it used to be for Gen X.
Yep.
You know, like playing in the street and you come back when the night lights come on.
Yeah,
you know,
I remember those days.
Yeah.
So you moved to Melbourne from Adelaide?
Yeah, so I moved to Melbourne. That was for music.
Yep. And then how were you there?
I was 23.
Yeah.
Or 21 the first time. It didn't work out. And then moved back again at 23. And then stayed there and for a few years.
And then moved up to Queensland?
Yeah, I came here the first time I came here. I was like, home. That's it. I remember giving my boss 6 weeks notice in Melbourne. I was like, I found home. Yeah. So
straight to where Sunny Coast?
Yeah, no, Brisbane. For like, I think 16, 17 years now.
I'm born and raised in Brisbane. Whereabouts in Brisbane? Where you live?
Stafford Heights,
North
Chermside, around that north side.
North side, bro.
When I lived here, I couldn't believe the whole south side, north side
thing. It's a legit thing, bro.
Yeah, because the first suburb I moved to was Mount Gravatt.
That's where I'm from, the south side.
Yeah, around there. Yeah. And then I moved to the north side. I reckon the north side kills the south side. Dude.
Give me, okay, why? Give me 1 point why.
Okay, well, I don't feel like I'm going to come back to my car with the tyres missing. you know.
But that's how I feel on the north side.
Yeah, and the cafes are nicer. It's a bit more la-di-da.
I think, look, from Brisbane to Gold Coast, which is the south side, I think there's a lot more options.
Yeah.
From Brisbane to Sunshine Coast,
yeah.
I don't think there's much going on.
Yeah, my wife agrees. She would move here to the Gold Coast in a heartbeat.
Is she from Brizzy originally?
Yeah, and she loves the Gold Coast.
Yeah. Was she south side, north side?
She was south side more, right? You know,
she got some brains.
Yeah, exactly. But we live Sunny Coast now, and I love it.
I love Sunny Coast too, but it seems more. Would you agree? More low key, quiet.
100%. Yeah,
more sort of retirement type.
Don't make me sound old. But if you want quiet and you just want the beach and places to hike, cafe culture, if you want shopping and nightlife, and also like what you just said, you know, there's more options.
Gold Coast.
You come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I lived here for a year.
Didn't like it?
It was, everyone was orange.
Yeah,
I was going to the gym a lot. Everyone was
year
on roids.
What year was this?
This would have been 2011.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was the prime. Like, what 2000? When did the games come? Because obviously Gold Coast was very like bikey, heavy at one point, but
Yeah.
then they've cleaned it up. They brought in
Okay.
the laws and But yeah, 2011. Yeah, everyone was on fake. What's it called? Fake tan and.
Yeah, and I was working right in Surfers Paradise in an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
I'd have my part-time job. I lived at Broadbeach in an apartment on my own. And I moved here to get away from everything. And it was just, it was like nightlife, drinking, gym.
Partying, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah. If you wanted to be into that lifestyle, I picked the right place.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be left alone. So then from there, that's when I went back to Melbourne.
Oh, so you left Brisbane and went back to Melbourne for a bit?
Yeah, I just went there just for like a year.
Yeah.
Just to sort things out, and stuff like that, and then come back here. So it's been a complicated relationship with the girl's mum. So there's been a lot of back and forth.
All right, so at what point do you meet the mother of your kids? Hey guys, just a quick shout out to our gold sponsors. MCH Industries are a mining maintenance specialist company supplying solutions to the coal mining industry in the Bowen Basin and regional New South Wales. They supply superintendents, supervisors, leading hands, diesel fitters, tyre fitters, auto electricians, HV electricians, and trade assistants to assist. The mining one-stop shop for mechanical trades. MCH Industries are always looking for good blokes to jump on the team, so check out their Instagram for more details. And are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? There's only one name that's been leading the way for over 123 years, Ray White. Ray White isn't just another real estate brand. It's a family business built on ambition, trust, and leadership. Today, it stands as the largest real estate group in Australasia, connecting people with homes and investments across the country. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking for that perfect home, Ray White is committed to delivering authentic, local expertise. Because real estate isn't just about properties, it's about people, communities, and futures. And when it comes to trusted leadership, meet Alex Illian, an ex-Army veteran turned dedicated real estate agent. Alex knows what it means to serve, to strategize, and to get the job done. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just have questions, Alex is here to guide you every step of the way, servicing the Geelong, Bellarine, and Surf Coast areas. Ray White, the name you can trust in real estate.
I met her in 1998.
Yep.
We were both 21.
So where
in Melbourne?
Melbourne. So in Melbourne.
Yeah, so I went to Melbourne at 21 for the first time, like I told you, and it didn't work out. And I went there for music, and I was there for like, I don't know, 3-4 months. And in that 3-4 months, I met her. We're both 21. She's working a part-time job in a fish and chip shop. Like Pauline Hanson. How you going, Pauline?
Shout out, Auntie Pauline.
Shout out, yeah. And yeah, we just got on like a house on fire. And the great thing is, our first 2-3 months hanging out together, it wasn't any kind of relationship or whatever. We were just mates. We'd go out drinking and dancing and talking and cracking stupid jokes. And then I was like, okay, I'm going back to Adelaide. And I knew we were going to stay in touch. Unfortunately, she thought that was the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, it probably should have been the end of it. We ended up staying in touch back and forth for the next 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just trying to do your timeline.
Yep.
You obviously return at some point because obviously you guys have kids together. So like,
yeah. So my firstborn was, my first child was born in 2013, like 15 years later.
Okay, yeah, wow.
Right.
Okay.
So for the timeline, we met in 98 and then we went back and forth. And what I mean by that is like, she lived in Melbourne, a bit in Adelaide, a bit in Brisbane, a bit in London. I lived a little bit in Brisbane, Adelaide, Sydney.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We traveled all over the place. We weren't in a relationship. We were just going back and forth.
Okay.
It's like if we were single, we went out, tried to make it work. It didn't work out. We'd go out with other people. Wouldn't see each other for a year.
Did it get to a certain point where you stay together for quite some time, or?
No. To tell you the truth, by the time we were back and forth and we were like in our mid-30s, that's when I had said to her, listen, I don't think you're my soulmate. Sorry, I'm not in love with you. I care about you a lot. We didn't have any children. We didn't have a house together or anything. I just thought, we're both, 36 years old and that's it.
Yep.
and the reaction was not good.
Okay. So was your first daughter planned accident?
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't planned. So
And did that happen after this conversation took place?
yeah. Okay. So she said she was going to. We were living together in Brisbane. She said she was going to go back to Melbourne, and yeah, it's a convoluted story, unfortunately, and it's a bit embarrassing.
No, it's fine, man.
And I went, yeah, sure, not a problem. And the last 2 months that we were living together, she was kind of making it hell for me. Just giving me an attitude every day, abusing me, playing little games, hiding my items, stealing my items, breaking them, stealing a bit of money.
Being a bit petty and spiteful?
Yeah, just nonstop. And just kind of like, you wasted 15 years of my life. And, I've procrastinated about saying this on the show because I know that I want the girls to see this one day. But, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
She was screaming at me, you owe me babies,
Oh, wow.
It's just like full on yelling, just screaming at me, you owe me babies, you owe me babies. Actually, what she screamed was, you owe me brown babies. And you can edit that because it sounds silly.
No,
but that's actually what she would scream at me. You owe me brown babies.
What nationality is
she's Australian.
Australian.
Yeah. I'm Australian, but obviously she's like 10th generation Australian or whatever, and so then she left and went back to Melbourne, and then 11 weeks later I got a phone call, 2.5 months pregnant. And I was like, okay. My reaction was one of shock, and then I just exploded into happiness.
Yeah, nice.
I did.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to be a dad.
Yeah, nice. How old were you at the time? 36?
Yeah, I was 35, 36. Yeah, 36, I think. And it was 2013 when I was told. And I just said, look, this is amazing. Like we're mates. And, our beautiful little baby was conceived in love, and we're going to be great parents. But straight away it was just, no, but we should be married. We should be together. We should try and give it a go. And I was like, okay. So we try to give it a go, but a baby's never going to bring two people together if you're not together before.
Yeah.
That's
so,
my
some people think that though.
Yeah.
So you moved back there while she was pregnant?
No. So we had a business. I had a business,
yep.
my pizza business and stuff like that. She actually owned 50% of it because we both invested in it, which made things complicated as well.
Yeah.
And the business started flourishing. She moved back, we got an apartment, and straight away, I was looking after everything financially.
Yeah.
And all I wanted was to be able to be a part of my beautiful daughter's life. Straight off the bat, tell me if I'm going all over the place.
No, man, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
So, straight off the bat, the relationship was put under a lot of pressure. It's like, I'm here now, we've had a child together. When's the ring going on my finger? Which is actually the way she would say it. You have to put a ring on my finger. We have to get married.
And you sorry to cut you off. And you know what? I feel I hear a lot of stories like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like marriage should just naturally happen. When I say naturally happen, like the man should just naturally propose when he feels the time right.
Yeah.
Like you have those conversations, but when a woman is demanding it, it's kind of defeats the purpose of the. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does for me. I mean, I had this vision in my head. The reason I broke up in the first place is because I wanted to have the meet someone, get to know them, move in, propose, buy a property together, have a child. I wanted it in that order. A lot of people out there know that just doesn't happen, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen in that order, just as long as there's love involved in every step.
Yep.
If the child comes first, then the marriage, then the house, who cares as long as every step is with love. But this was more of a kind of, hey, it's happened. I didn't plan it. I was planning on kind of like, I don't know, partying hard and going out and running amok for another year or two. I was having a great time with my pizza shop. It was just smashing it out the door, great employees, great friends, lived in the best state in Australia, and then it got changed, and I was trying to make the best of it. And then when my daughter was born, oh my God, Like,
Life changing.
yeah, but the thing is, it was completely natural to me. There was no nerves. I was like, I'm going to be the best dad in the world. And I held my daughter. I was like, how you going finally?
Well, if you don't mind me asking, I asked one my guest, did the mother of your child give birth naturally? And then were you able to witness it? Or?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So I was, our relationship, even though it was different, it was healthy. And what I mean by that is we weren't screaming at each other. There were no arguments. I was talking to the baby bump. We didn't want to know
the gender.
We didn't want to know the gender.
Yeah, nice.
You know, we would crack inappropriate jokes with a baby. I was like, you got to get used to that. We've got a warped sense of humor, you know? And then when, you know, my beautiful daughter was born, oh man, and I saw her every day for the first 2 years and 4 days of her life. Exactly. After that, it was mayhem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Once my daughter was born, maybe it was happy vibes for about a month or two, and then that's it.
Faded off.
It was just, where's the ring on my finger?
Oh, really?
I miss my family. I've got no friends here. And there were just comments that were being said, and I really, honestly, I started to freak out. Like hand on my heart, Percy, I started to freak out by some of the behavior. You know, I'd be playing with my daughter, and I could feel the death stare.
Energy, yeah.
Yeah, she was just staring at me, and then I'd look at her, and she'd say something like, you know, you love her more than you love me. Like comments like that, you know. I'd go and take her away, and you know, for the morning, and I wouldn't want to hang out with my partner. I just want to take my daughter out to brekkie, you know, little baby chino, little pancakes and whatever. Hang out at the park with her, and you know, bring her back by 12. I'm like, yeah, I'd bring her back at 12:05. She'd go on about it like I just crashed her car, you know. But it was just nonstop, and then
it gets to a point where it's just
very
toxic, very were you still living living under the same roof at the stage?
Yeah, but it was me walking on eggshells all the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you're coming home to what should be your safe haven, your home, if you've been at work all day, and you're supposed to be coming home to your safe environment where you relax, but really you're coming home and you're not, you're tense.
It was quite normal for me to have everything packed up in the pizza bar by 9:30. And I'd stay at home. I'd stay at the pizza bar till 10:30, 11 o'clock watching TV on the screen on the wall just because I didn't want to come home.
Yeah.
You know, and so then when I did come home, I would either get my daughter handed to me straight away because she was crying and I was like over the moon. And then I would just go, you know, chuck on a movie and she'd bang in my arms every time. She was out. 30 seconds, bang. You know, I would just hold her. Because I had this really calm energy, you know. And I just figured, well, this isn't going to go on forever, you know. In the process, because I'm irresponsible and I've got to be accountable for my actions, we had our beautiful second daughter.
Let's assume that you're going to say that,
Yeah. And the second daughter, it was completely different dynamics.
Sorry to pause you. What was the time frame between daughters?
They're 19 months apart.
19 months, yep.
19 months apart. And I was not allowed to be involved in that in any way, shape, or form. I was not ever allowed to speak to the belly, to her beautiful tummy. I was not allowed to be involved in purchasing anything. I've never, ever spent a solitary minute alone with my second daughter. Never. Where with my first daughter, 100 times.
So just confirm, you're still living in the same house, right? When she's pregnant with your second daughter, but
yeah,
it's different this time. You're not allowed to talk to the baby, to the baby bump. You're not allowed to be involved. Can't go buy clothes, etc.
That's right. I wasn't involved in any way, shape, or form.
Where do you reckon this mindset of hers came from? So is it because you haven't put a wedding ring on her finger yet?
Yeah, that's right. You know, and it was just. It's funny because I've never spoken about this before. It's just always in my head, the memories and this and that. And as I'm speaking about it, I'm overwhelmed with a feeling of embarrassment because it's like, how did I let that happen?
We've all been there.
I know, but even as I'm speaking to you, it's like, oh, wait a minute, there was like a million red flags.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, look, people ask me that too, you know, but, you know, in that point in time, you're in a different state of mind. You're blinded by love, whether it's for your child or, you know, doing it for different things. But yeah. It is until we get older and we reflect and look back and go, oh, well, yeah, those signs were there, but I've obviously pushed them to the side for other reasons. But
I mean, I've made plenty of mistakes in past relationships, and I'll be honest, I get over it really quickly. But there's no children involved.
That's right.
You know?
Emotion.
Yeah. And that's where it's unfair because that's when the game starts. You know, like this person, you know, the mother of my children, you know, she'd thrown a glass at my head before my girls were born. She'd cheated on me before my girls were born. I'm not into drug culture. I've never done it before. She dabbled in that and had an alcohol problem before the girls were born. You know, she'd been fired from God knows how many jobs, like in the time that I was with her, all the time for bullying other people.
Oh, really?
You know, I'd never been fired from a job in my life.
Yeah.
So like multiple red flags, you know? And so I had said to her, I don't want to have children with you. I'm sorry I'm not in love with you. You know, we're not each other's soulmates. We're just really good mates. Two beautiful girls get brought into our world. And I can't be the dad I want to be. And then that's when just scary behavior started happening. Yeah.
Let's talk about, so your second daughter's born. Were you at the hospital for that one?
I was, technically, but I wasn't involved in there. Like I was in the room, but it just wasn't the same.
And literally she wouldn't let you hold the baby?
Yeah, like I held the baby, but it was just cold. It was just a cold, you know, like
cold experience compared to the first one.
Yeah, like the first one, it's just like a Hollywood movie. It's like, oh my God, it's time. I'm at the pizza bar. I get a phone call. We go to the hospital. The doctor says to me, listen, you can go back to work. This baby ain't coming for another 12 hours at least.
Yeah.
I jump in the car. I drive out of the car park. I get a phone call. You know, I hadn't even left 10 minutes. It's coming now, you know, and then we're rushing and it's just happy, you know.
Yeah.
I named my daughter, both of them. I named their names. Is that how you say it? I gave them their names.
Yeah. You know them, yeah.
I gave them their names. It started straight away, like 30 minutes. The game's 30 minutes after my first child was born.
Wow.
I looked at the birth certificate and the name was spelt in a Gaelic way and I didn't recognize it and it had her surname. And I said, what's this name? She goes, oh, that's the way we're going to spell it. And that's my surname. And I said, oh, but it's supposed to be Boom Boom. You know, we made this decision like 6 months ago, you know, we both agreed on it. And she's like, nah. I was like, to have that conversation when my daughter's 30 minutes into the world.
Yeah, wow.
And the doctor kind of pulled me to the side. It's like, believe it or not, I've seen this happen before. He goes, this isn't the place to argue.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
So your first daughter has your surname?
No. Neither of them do.
But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the home life now. You've had your second daughter, you go home.
Yeah.
Comparing your first experience with your first daughter to now your second daughter, what's some of the differences and changes?
I wasn't allowed because I didn't live there anymore now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
had you moved out just before she was born?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I moved out just before my daughter was born. It was just nonstop negative energy. I don't argue. I just grab the keys and leave.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I'll argue with a bloke, you know.
Yeah.
But if she's just going to argue with me, and it was just
going around in circles, just walk off.
I just walked off. And what happened is, and this is really important, and I speak about this to guys all the time, especially guys that don't have children. I go, don't text your ex or your girlfriend an abusive message because that's all they need.
Yep.
Right? So my ex would scream at me, like veins popping out of the neck, red face, screaming at me, swearing in front of my beautiful little girl. And my little girl would be stressed out and scared and look at us, and I'd look at her and go, hey, everything's okay. Everything's fine. Mommy and daddy are just playing. And she'd like come up to me. I'd be on the floor talking to my daughter. She'd nudge me in the back with her knee, you know. She'd give me a little slap across the head. She'd swear and scream at me. No problem acting like that in front of our daughter. And I'd be like, everything's cool. And then I would just leave. I'd have to leave. Then when I would leave, I'd be outside on my phone going, you you see, you effing this, effing that. I can't believe you act like that in front of our daughter. Bam. There's the foundation of the DV. She started collecting.
Yeah. Try and leave a footprint.
Then we were, they joined the mothers group, and, they're tough sometimes because you've got to there make fake friendships with the dads. So sometimes I'd catch up with the dads, and then the dads would be like, hey, you got to let her go out and hang out with the mums. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, they invite her out all the time. She always says she can't because you're making her work at the pizza bar. right? This is a thing that used to blow me away, Percy, is when she used to walk into the pizza bar, my employees didn't even know who she was. She was never there. But that's not what she told everyone.
I know.
Oh, I have to work all the time in the pizza bar, the way he makes me work. Well, I'm like, okay. And then I would be over sometimes, and I remember once a message popped up on a mobile phone. It was like, something like, hey, Dal, I've just made a tray of lasagna, and me and the girls, they're all coming over with a couple bottles of wine, join us. And so I would say, and it was like a Friday night, I'd say, hey, listen, why don't you go and do something tonight? I'll take a night off from the pizza bar, and then I could just hang out with our beautiful little girl. Nah, I don't have anything to do. I was like, just call one of the ladies from the group, knowing that she'd just been invited. Yeah. She's like, nah, they don't like me, and I don't like them either. And I was like, but do something, And so then I would say to the dads, I know that your wife invited my wife over for lasagna and bottles of wine. I know that your wife invited my wife to the movies. And then she tells all of you, oh, no, I can't go. Adrian's not letting me. I'm like, well, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't know. Was she very controlling in regards to not letting the girls out of her sight?
Yeah, big time.
That was her.
Yeah, if I was dating someone, they'd get a rude message on Facebook as if it was from me, sometimes from her. I remember going to a mate's wedding, and she got offended because she wasn't invited. And my mate didn't like her.
Fair enough.
So on the day of the wedding, she'd hidden my shoes, my black shoes in the suit. So I went to Myers and bought another pair. Then when I came back, there were my shoes. Then I get abused for spending an extra $100 on shoes. My glasses, I can't find them. Then I find them and they're smashed under the couch. $150 in my wallet. Then it's only 50. Just constantly gameplay all the time, And I always just copped it on the chin. Just, okay, no worries. Yeah, okay, no worries, But what happened is we got to about August 2015. My youngest was born in May, so she would have been, I don't know, like 5 months old. The abuse was just going next level. Other people were telling me things about her behavior with the girls when I wasn't around. The house wasn't being kept. I was giving her about $1,200 to $1,300 every week.
Wow.
All right. And I was taking home the rest, which was anything from $500 to $1,000. And I was there all the time. Because we had a food business as well, Percy, there was never any shortage of anything.
Yeah.
You've got as much money as you want. You got your new little SUV. The rent's always paid. The girls have access to everything they need, clothes, food, whatever. And you could order whatever you want because it was a food business. Just if you want $300 worth of food, done. And you want nappies, this, done, whatever. And I just said, listen, I need you to go back to Melbourne for a month or two, come back with a smile on your face. Your mum and I are on the phone all the time. She's asked me a couple of times, is my daughter suicidal? And I was like, oh, God, I hope not. She's like, you got to let her come back to Melbourne to visit us. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, if it's for me, she goes every 2 weeks. Like we've got money.
Yeah.
She could do whatever she wants. And, she started crying. Thank you so much, Adrian. I'm like, what's going on here? And she left on October the 6th, and that's it. October the 6th, 2015. That's it.
And that's the last time you've seen him?
Yeah, well, legally.
Legally. Okay.
Yeah. On the 23rd of December that year, so 2.5 months later, that's when the DV started in the police. 2 days before Christmas. Yeah. And it's been like that since. Well, it's going to keep going.
All right, let's talk about so she's gone. Does she block communication straight away, or is she still communicating a bit for them?
It started 48 hours after she left. So when she left, I lived with my mate in Everton Hills, and she had the house in McDowell. And so when she left, everything was still there because she was going to come back in 7-8 weeks. And she actually even said, she was like, I might get sick of my family after 2-3 weeks and come back. And I was like, I hope so. And I remember I started crying because she goes, why are you crying? I said, I feel like I'm not going to see the girls again. I was scared.
Deep down, you knew. Yeah.
I was scared, yeah. And, I tried so many things. Like Yeah. Actually, can I go back?
Of course, bro. This is your story.
Okay.
Take
So
your time.
So this is really huge. And I don't know how I'm going to talk about this with my first daughter. And I've got the proof.
Yep.
Right. And I'm happy to go on a polygraph test with my girls. The mother won't.
Yeah.
I used to finish work on Friday night, like around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And anyone that owns a hospitality store, takeaway store, knows that Friday night you usually do about 35-40% of the whole week's turnover. And I had a great time. I loved my business. And it was always busy. Like a quiet night in my joint was busy. And it was 7:30. It was almost 7:30 at night on a Friday night. And I was like, wow, like we're dead. And I had 9 employees there. So I was like, hey guys, I'm going to leave early. First time ever. You guys, do what you got to do. And I'll come back around 9:30, 10 o'clock, check everything. So for the first time ever, I left early on a Friday night. I left at, just before 7:30. She lived 10 minutes away. I was like, great. I'm going to spend Friday night with my little girl. So I go there and I knock on the door. She didn't answer. I called. She didn't answer. I had a key, which was for emergencies. I open the door. I go in. All the lights are on. I walk downstairs. I'm calling her name. I'm calling my daughter's name. Nothing. But I can hear a bit of noise. So I go into the master bedroom and the door is closed of the 2 bathrooms. And I can hear her singing. There's like a bit of noise in there, right? And I open the other bathroom door and my daughter is in the bathtub face down, struggling to breathe, right? This is the turning point. I quickly grab my daughter and she's struggling to breathe and she's got a broken leg. It's not actually a broken leg because she's not even 18 months old. She's, I think, 15 months old or 13 months old. And obviously the bones haven't formed yet. So I'm saying a broken leg, but anyone who understands, the medical side of it. Anyway,
Yeah.
She's got a broken leg and she's struggling to breathe. I pick her up and I bang on the other door. I open it up and she's there, music blaring, hairdryer on, singing. Now, unless you're a complete idiot.
Yeah, you wouldn't have let your daughter out of your sight when in the bath.
That was an attempted murder. I don't care. I'll argue with anyone about this. I won't run out of breath, right? As I'm telling this story, like my skin, I'm breaking a sweat. Bro,
when you said face down, I was like, oh.
Because I usually would see her at 10 o'clock at night. She'd be dead.
Yeah, you could.
100%. And I scream at her, what the hell, Rara? She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot. I thought she was in bed, blah, blah, blah. And it's the only time I spoke to her like this. And I will revisit this again and say something a little bit controversial about it, and I'll stand by it. I quickly grab my daughter, jump in the car. She's in my arms. She's fine. She's awake, but she's screaming in pain because she's got a broken leg. I've just got her wrapped up in a towel, and I'll just drive straight to the hospital. She obviously jumps in the other car, in her car, and follows us. I walk into the hospital. It's Friday night. It's packed,
busy.
Right? I go, my daughter, I just found her in the bathtub, struggling to breathe, broken leg. They're like, oh, sorry, sir, you've got to wait. I go, no, I don't care. I kick the door down. I go straight into the back room and I just lay her in a bed. They're like, I don't care. I was like, call the police. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Right, bang, bang, bang. They'll deal with her. My ex comes in and in front of, which I didn't know at the time, in front of doctors, nurses, everyone in the waiting room and a police officer, I turn around and say, don't come anywhere near us. I'll knock your block off. Right? I did not leave my daughter's side, and the dirty looks that I got from every single female nurse, doctor, the police, everyone. And then she got pulled aside, and that's when the games began. That's when it really began. I don't know what happened. He just came into the room with her and a broken leg. I'm scared of him. And then they feed the victims. Did he hurt you? Are you scared of him? Do you want to be alone with him? Is this the first time he's behaved like this? And she had to go into the x-ray room or whatever and have like a little x-ray or something. And the greases that I was getting.
Yeah, I bet.
That's when I should have called the police and gotten a lawyer. And she begged me, please don't call the police. Please don't tell anyone. Please don't tell your mom. Please don't tell my family. Don't call the police. Don't call the police. And I said, you got to go and see someone. You've got to go and get help.
Yeah.
You're screaming stuff like suicidal stuff at me. I'm coming home and there's old food in the fridge. There's bags of dirty nappies at the door. You want a maid to help you? No, you don't want a maid. Oh, but you don't want a pretty maid. You need more money. Your rent's not paid, but I give you the rent money. Then your landlady's calling me. You're busting my chops 24/7, But that, I'm so angry at myself for not calling the cops and taking my daughter.
Has she, the mother of your child, has she got some sort of childhood trauma? Maybe that plays a part to the way she is today or the way she was at that point in time?
I don't know. She's never shared that with me. And unfortunately, as you asked me that question, my internal dialogue was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, okay. I'll totally agree with you. But when you told me you found her face down like straight away, I was like, oh, and then I would have been fuming. I would have lost my temper, and I would have done the same thing straight to hospital. And I didn't care what anyone said. Like I would have done the same thing. Treat my daughter now. You know what I mean? So, and that's that father protective instinct.
Exactly. What's awful about that is that when you're with a partner who is sorry.
So real quick before I forget, so
That's okay.
I work at the hospital, and this is a pet hate of mine. Is a patient will come in and the patient will say, "Oh, I've got a DVR on my ex. I think he might be in the waiting room." Everyone runs around frantically, and I say, "Stop!" Everyone, whether it's the nurse, protective service officers, doctors, whoever, and they go, "She said she's got a DVR on the ex." I said, are you just taking this on hearsay? But the people running around frantically, and they'll find the father out there and they'll treat him like shit. I'm thinking, hold on a sec. Everyone just calm your farm.
Yeah.
You can't just take what she said on hearsay.
Yeah.
There's no one in this hospital that can actually look up to see if that's true. You have to find a QPS officer and ask them whether they'll do it or not to search this person's name on QPROM to find out. But just based off what the patient said, everyone runs around frantically and then everyone judges this father. Now, there might be, but there might not be. But you can't just, tell them to go outside, tell them to come do this. So, whoa, like, where's the hard evidence? Show me where there's paperwork, But people will just judge straight away.
Oh, absolutely.
Straight away off a hearsay, hearsay anyway. But, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I agree with you. The way you get judged is incredible. I've been to court so many times, and the way I get spoken to or looked down by the lawyers and the judges and stuff like that. And like I'll say to my wife, these people, they've got all these fancy titles and this higher education, but that doesn't make them immune from making a stupid decision.
Oh, there's plenty of judges making stupid decisions.
I always say to people, if you want to be in a room with a really smart, dumb person, go to family court.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? I used to think,
if I drink this, it'll pick it up.
That's fine. Married at First Sight, they talk about the ratings, through the roof. Forget Married at First Sight. Put a TV crew in family court.
Yeah.
The ratings. Yeah. You want ratings? You want everyone from whether Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10, you put family court at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night, everyone's going to tune in.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to believe what goes on in there.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned those channels and stuff like that. Do you notice there's never any stories on TV about male domestic violence victims?
Yeah, no.
Like you might find one or two,
it's not the government narrative. Yeah.
Well, I've pushed so many times, which is why I really appreciate that, you give me the opportunity to tell a story and for what you're doing. Because I've written hundreds and hundreds of letters to all the TV stations, ABC, 7, 8, 9.
No one gets back to you.
10, whatever. There's so many out there. And I've had a meeting at Channel 7 here in Brisbane, and I've had a meeting at Channel 10 in Melbourne, right? And both times they told me, we'll never do a story on you, right? And they weren't rude about it. They were like, sorry, Adrian, we won't do a story on you because it'll affect our advertising budget. And so the guy from Channel 7 told me straight out, he's like, if we have a car manufacturer that will spend so much money, to be on prime time, and we do a show like this, and they pull their budget because the backlash that we'd get from our female audience, and the Channel and Herald Sun journalists told me the same thing, and Channel 10, and because I was busting to get my story out there.
But I wish I was if I was a billionaire, I'd be putting every male DV story out there, you know what I mean? Like I'd fund everything, anyway. But unfortunately that doesn't surprise me.
No, and the thing is, I'm like the way I presented my story when I'd give them my treatment and give them like 2-3 pages on the story and how I want to present it and stuff like that. It's not a woman bashing segment.
Mm.
All I'm saying is, hey, DV is a problem, and let's put a spotlight on all the perpetrators and put a spotlight on all the victims.
That's right.
You know, because if DV is like a leaking bucket, you got 100 holes in that bucket, and just say 90 of them are like female domestic violence victims and 10 are men, and all you do is patch up those 90 holes, it's going to be a leaking bucket forever.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know? And, you know, my wife said to me, you know, because she's a very, very wise woman, she said, when you talk about it and you listen to all these things, she said, I notice a lot of the times men don't talk about being accountable for their actions. And I get defensive, which I shouldn't be. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about us being accountable for what we do, because I figure as a community, if all the dads are accountable for what we do, then we almost have a right to continuously say to women, you have to be accountable for what you guys do. I don't see any female advocates coming out and discussing parental alienation.
No. There is one, Amanda Sillars. Have you heard of her?
No, I'm going to look her up now. Yeah.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. She's a mother, female. She's an advocate for parental alienation, both sides, you know. So that is one person. I've actually had her on the podcast. Unfortunately, we lost the footage. So
Oh, no, really?
yeah. So I'll have to get her on again. But yeah, sorry, man. Going back to you taking accountability.
Yeah, just taking accountability. Because what's my accountability? My accountability is I was going back and forth for 15 years. And, you know, did I waste my ex's time? Probably did. Could I have told her what I told her at 35 at 25? You know?
It's like life's a journey, bro. We learn. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
For me, I look at life as a roller coaster. You got your ups and downs and your plateaus, and you just got to embrace the ups and survive the downs, and you know, learn.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon I'm an expert at what is it? Surviving the downs now.
Downs, yeah.
And one of the reasons when I reached out to you is that, you know, the second half of this year, I want to present myself in Melbourne again and get my warrant removed. And I don't want to fight it. I just want to do my 6 months in jail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's it. And yes, I'll be going to jail for doing absolutely nothing.
It's crazy the amount of people that are in jail for doing absolutely nothing. And I know that for a fact. And I've said it many times before, but the big one is the breach of a DV. So like the ex will put a DV on you, no contact, but then as soon as but she'll still text you.
Yeah.
So, hey babe, are you free this weekend? Oh mate, well, yeah, I'm free. Breach. And
yes.
And hold on, that's entrapment. You've put a DV on him, said that you're scared for your life, blah, blah, blah. But why are you texting him?
Yeah, I know.
Didn't you just go to the police station and say you're scared for your life?
Yeah.
But then you've texted him, I'm sorry, that's entrapment. And then he replied, yeah. Like he hasn't even replied any profanity, no death, just replied, oh yeah, I'm free this weekend. Breach. And there's people sitting in prison right now. Because, you know, when people hear breach of DVO, they think, oh my God, he's gone and attacked her. No. He replied to a text message.
Yep.
I'm just gobsmacked, man.
And not just that, but when you send a text message, that's a breach. And I send text message like, hey, how are you? Send. I'm going to do this today. Send. Boom, 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 send. That's 3 breaches.
Yep. Yeah. And then there's another one. I'll probably word this wrong. If there's so many, I don't know if it's so many phone calls after another or messages, that's classed as it's a form of DV, you know, because it's repetitive. I can't remember what it is. I think it's so many phone calls in a day, you know.
Okay, that could be like
you might call,
you
might call, you didn't pick up, but it's an emergency, and then you've done so many. Oh, you know, DV, but yeah,
I know
the DV things. Just the other day, Peter Malinakis has brought in no stamp duty for DV victims.
I know. Oh my God. Like seriously, I was ranting all day about that.
And you'll get some people like, oh, it says all DV victims. Like read the article. It says for women.
Yeah.
Women only. And it's just like, man, like tell me that's not going to open the floodgates for more false DV, because who wants to pay stamp duty? No one.
I'll walk into police stations sometimes like Broadmeadows.
Yep.
And on the wall, they'll have, "We're here to protect all women and children from domestic violence." And I'm just like, you want to change that sign?
Yeah, I know, right? We're supposed to be all about equality.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, man. It's, the DV climate system needs changing. And, yeah, like I had that guest from DV Connect on.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, well, there's a email circulating about me in that organisation as we speak, with the link to the podcast, and they're well aware of it. Still haven't heard anything from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just letting all their employees know that, as you be aware, we don't conduct ourselves in this manner, and that's blah blah blah. Sorry,
they're so shonky.
Oh,
they
mate.
just are, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There'd be people in there trying to do the right thing, and they'd be, surrounded by people who aren't.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know, I remember I got a letter, and I wanted to bring the letter today. I'll send it to you via email. I got a letter from Centrelink, Mitchelton office, and I called up about it. "Oh, sorry, I think you've got the wrong person." And she was so rude to me straight away on the phone. I get dads calling up all the time. You've sent this to the wrong dad. And I'm like, you're selling me that I have to give my ex $427 a month. And why am I not giving her $427?
Wait, is this Centrelink or child support?
This is Centrelink with child support.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
With a single mother benefit payment or something?
Yeah.
Something like that?
And so they sent me a letter, why are you not giving her $427 a month? And I was like, well, I'm not giving her that because I'm giving her $6,000 a month. Right? And I said, will you be there tomorrow? I go, okay, cool. So I rock up tomorrow with a stack like this from Suncorp, just showing every single week. 1,200, 1,250, 1,300, 1,350, 13, 13, 13, 13.
Let me guess. They said, did you put a reference on that transfer?
No, I didn't.
Did they say something like, because you didn't put a reference saying child support, we can't take that in, we can't factor that in?
No, the letter I'm going to send you, right, is a letter from them saying you no longer have to give the mother any money anymore. She doesn't want any from you.
Oh.
And the only reason they did that is because she was double dipping.
Ah.
And she was going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And when I said to the person, listen, are you going to investigate this? She just looked at me and said, why would you want to do that to the mother of your children?
Mm.
And I'm like, she's clearly just fleecing the system.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on about it forever,
Yeah,
but it was just the double standards were just so annoying. And I'll be honest, in the first 2.5 years, I was cracking it left, right, and center. Like I'd get off my phone. The amount of phones I went through. I'd get off my phone, throw my phone, kick a table, this and that, And sometimes the table won because I'm small. Right? So, I was so annoyed,
Yeah, I bet.
And now, oh my God, I just kind of shrug my shoulders. I think it's a pathetic existence being a fake domestic violence victim.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I get it. There's people manipulate the military system. They'll fake PTSD to get a pay. People just, doesn't matter what industry you're in, people will learn a system and they want to manipulate to their advantage.
Yeah.
But, this system, when you manipulate the DV system, that the domino effect, you can't see your kid, you lose your job, you lose, and then just like, man, it's just such a, it kills people. It kills fellas,
absolutely.
lose your job, lose this reputation.
My inner circle were really worried about me for the first couple of years because they would do, they would read about statistics of men's, suicide and all that, which is just awful. What is it? Something like between 2,300 and 2,500 every year, and the statistic always is that about 75% of that, those men are going through a family court system. There's parental alienation involved and all that. And this is another thing I would like to discuss is that the word narcissist gets thrown around a lot.
Yep.
And there's different levels of it, right? I've got a very healthy dose of narcissism. I really do, right? And there is such a thing as a healthy dose of narcissism, right? And everyone should have it just a little bit, just confidence, self-belief, all that kind of stuff, and self-awareness. So as I'm going through that, I'm talking to my mates and going, oh yeah, there's no chance that's happening. Right. I've got a huge journey to live out, and so as someone that had that, after my ridiculous behavior for the first 2 years of cracking it and smashing phones and throwing things and swearing and screaming at the sky, I was just like, what the hell am I doing? You know, I want dads when they listen to these stories to go, hey, listen, I don't have to survive this to then start my life because I'm in the middle of it. You know, I'm not even at the halfway point, Percy, you know, and I still decide to go, you know what? Why am I avoiding women? Because I think I'm not the best version of myself and I don't want to meet someone who's incredible, you know, finish school, do a course, go back to the gym, you know, rekindle those friendships with your mates. Go to the movies, go hiking, buy yourself those pair of shoes you wanted to buy. Start enjoying life.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to sit there just looking at old videos on your phone and then cry when you watch a movie and then like hate it because Father's Day is coming and you just know your ex is going to use it to annoy you, oh, man, just do something else. Focus on yourself.
Yeah, I've been there. I know exactly what you mean.
What was it? How was, if you don't mind me asking?
No, ask me anything you want, bro.
Well, how was the first Christmas where you couldn't see your beautiful girl?
Awkward because we broke up October 10th, whatever, October. And that was her first, that was going to be our daughter's first Christmas. And we had Christmas booked at QT Hotel, buffet, you know. And I had family, you know, flying up from Sydney. You know, there was, I think, 12 of us all up sitting at the table. And then obviously, you know, the DV court started, November. She cut communication. And then it was just this awkward Christmas because everyone flew up. No one knew what to say. No one knew what to ask. And no one wanted to bring it up because, you know, and it was just, it was shit, you know. So, and I didn't, family court didn't start till April next year, you know. No photos, no communication, no nothing, you know. So it was shit. And the next Christmas, missed out on that one. The next Christmas, I had her for, was it 5 hours or 3? I think it was 5 at that point. So we had her for 5 hours on Christmas Eve, which was great. You know, we got it. It was one I won't forget. And then obviously months later, my family court came to an end, and she's been relocated back to England, which she was allowed to do. And so she just turned 5, but I've just opened a line of communication now with the mother of my child, which is going great. Every Sunday I get a FaceTime call, and I'm looking at flying to England soon, which she's agreed to. And I said I want to fly to England in Christmas, you know, and she's like, yep. So I haven't asked a lot of people yet. So I haven't told people online yet because I feel it's so many people have been on the journey with me along the way, which I appreciate. And some people have been asking, you know, how did the reconnection happen? And you know, whenever I do Christmas or her birthday, I always leave a message on my social media for my daughter because my plan was in the future if she ever looks me up or she'll see the paper trail of messages I've done, you know, I've left online. And, you know, I did the 2-year anniversary since I've seen her or heard from her, and I just saw the father's comment, you know, haven't seen my kids for 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, 12 years. And I was just like, man, like, oh, I don't know if I can keep doing this, you know? So I just found, I've never met anyone from my ex-partner family because they're all from England. But, you know, I know her surnames and I knew her siblings' names. So I found her brother and her sister online. I just sent a polite message. So can you pass this on to the mother of my child? And she reached out to my dad a couple of days later on Facebook, and my poor dad, like, I'm sending him messages to pass on, and he doesn't know how to click copy paste the message. You know, he's 70 something. He's like, oh. And I said, listen, just tell her to unblock me. And she unblocked me, and then she messaged me, and then I said, look, I think, can we have a phone call one night, just me and you? And we spoke for 40 minutes, all about my daughter, updates, because my daughter's high level needs, you know, so there was so much to catch up on, her progress, and it was weirdly strange because, you know, this is a woman, we went to war against each other for 3 years, and then we just had this peaceful call all about my daughter. And then I remember it was on a Friday night. I said, can I have a scheduled FaceTime call once a week? I said, I'll work around your routine. Doesn't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the morning my time, I'll set my alarm. And she just said, yeah, Sunday, 7:30 p.m. my time. Does that work? I said, yep. And I had a FaceTime call, and I knew it was going to be emotional. I just said, when you FaceTime me, can you just me and you FaceTime for 5 minutes? I'll need to compose myself, you know. And then we spoke, and then she showed me my daughter, and it's hard to get her attention because she's autistic. And you know, I was breaking down, I was crying, but I was so happy to see her in her room. And there's one thing I always did at handover. It was I just sung the same song all the time. Old MacDonald had a farm, you know,
Yeah.
and she would just caress my ears. She has sensory processing disorder, and she just would bob back and forth. And I was trying to call her, and she wouldn't look at the phone. And as soon as I sung that song, she just stopped and looked at the phone, bro. My heart just sunk. I was like, "Thank you." And then, yeah, and that went for an hour and a half, man. Like, and you know, you hear these crazy stories from fathers that can't, you know, they only get a minute FaceTime and they hang up, and it was an hour and a half. And
That's awesome.
yeah, the mother child just, you know, follow my daughter around the room, and now we're just building on that, you know, building every Sunday, and during the week she might just randomly send me some photos and videos. I say thank you, you know. But yeah, sorry. A lot of people ask, well, how come it's happened now? I said, well, I think it's just, look, I could have reached out a year ago. It might have been too soon. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the magical answer. I just happened to thought I'd reach out now, and it's happened. You know, and she said, you know, she's moved on. And she said to me, I don't think you've moved on yet. And I said, you know, that's probably a fair point, because I'm still somewhat living in the nightmare. Like, you know, you wake up with our daughter every day, and you've got your.
That's a fair
you know what I mean?
point.
Yeah, and that's fair. I'm not arguing, but I probably haven't moved on. You know, but I've accepted that England is her new home now. Yes, she's born here. I fought to keep her here, and I broke, and I got to a point where I couldn't keep fighting, and I've accepted that England's her new home now, and she is a good mum to my daughter. Like, she takes care of all her needs, and she's not out partying or anything. She's, you know, very focused on my daughter, which I appreciate. But I said, well, you know, I want to come there, you know, and see my daughter. She's like, yep, no worries. So, you know, as time goes on, though, I think, I don't know if I can just go there once a year. Obviously, this is something that I need to speak to the mother of my daughter about. But, you know, I want to probably look at moving there if I can.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, would you ever move
Yeah,
there?
absolutely. But, you know, at the same time, I need her blessing, because I signed over full parental rights in the end. So she has full parental rights, and, you know, I just said to her, like, obviously it's early days. I still just want to get there first, and, you know, see my daughter. But, you know, if I do move there, I need you to work with me here. Like, just, you know, I don't want to pat on the back or thank you. Just don't make my life, don't make me sell here and move there, and then you're not going to let me see my daughter. You know what I mean? I need you to work with me here. Yeah. So, But yeah, man, sorry.
No, that's massive. No, that's
it's
huge.
Massive. It's huge. Yeah, because my state of mind was, I guess I had to change my state of mind to help me move on with life, to say I'm not going to see her until she's 18, at least. Because that's that state of mind I had to. Otherwise, I was waking up every day depressed, and, you know. But life throws you curveballs, some good, some bad, and now this has happened, and I'm embracing it, and I've definitely got a kick in my step now. I'm functioning a lot better, because, man, I'm getting photos and videos, you know, and like, you know, and I know that's not all fathers get that, and so I'm just embracing it, you know. So, hopefully, it just keeps building, you know, and I keep getting the photos and videos. So, yeah,
that's the thing, is that I don't know if I would want a photo of my daughter now if I knew there was no guarantee of me getting another one.
Well.
The old, you know what I mean? Like,
I know that feeling, because maybe a week ago, I think she sort of she got, I don't know, she backpedaled for a bit, and she's like, maybe you shouldn't come, because she's, you know, her routine, and maybe it's easier if she doesn't know that she has a father, and, you know, she was having a moment, and I just thought, you know what? So one thing I've learned is there's no point messaging now, because back when we were together, we would have just gone back and forth. Very heated. So I said, listen, she messaged me on a Wednesday, I think. And I said, listen, our scheduled FaceTime calls this Sunday. I'm just going to say one thing, and I just want you to sit on it for a few days, and then we'll chat again on Sunday. I said, you know, I'm prepared. There's fathers out there that don't want to be in their kids' lives, but he is our daughter's father that wants to be in our daughter's life. You know, I'm happy to relocate and move there next year if you give me that blessing, because I want to be in my daughter's life. But just sit on that. Just know that, you know, our daughter has a father that wants to be in life and help out. She's high level needs as well. So, and she goes, okay, because normally it would be back and forth. So I think, you know, we've both matured in the communication aspect. Yeah. And then she called Sunday, and she goes, yep, you know, I agree. Sorry. She goes, I just had a moment. I said, it's fine. And there probably are going to be a few more moments. You know, we went to war against each other for years. We haven't seen each other for years. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of doubt. We have to build on that communication and trust and learn how to co-parent and stuff like that. And that's going to be a journey in itself. But for now, just give me that chance to come see my daughter at least, and then we can go from there. So,
but that is like, you have to have like godlike patience.
Man, it's, how would I say this? I've never had to make so many big decisions these last few years. I've just had to rehome my dog, who's, man, he's born 2 days after my daughter, and I gave him to who now my ex-partner, because she's a amazing woman, my ex-partner, who I've just recently broken up with. She actually helped me pivot my mindset and help reconnect with my daughter. But once I open up a line of communication with the mother of my child, she's, she didn't know how to pivot her mindset, and she started asking questions like, what are you guys speaking about? And I was just like, man, all I'm speaking about is my daughter. And she said, what if she messaged you during the week? I said, well, if she messaged me during the week, I'm going to reply. It's the mother of my daughter. Like, I'm going to get photos and videos. And she just started to feel, in my opinion, she started to feel like she was putting controls and limitations on the line of communication with my daughter. And I said, please don't do that. Like, she asked, did you tell her about us? This was after our first phone call. And I said, well, no, I didn't. I mean, it's the first phone call I've had in years. All I was talking about was my daughter. And
and I wouldn't have brought up a relationship either.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just me, but yeah.
And I said, if the phone call went for 40 minutes or 4 hours, it would have been the same. There's so much to talk about,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, bless her, because she's an amazing woman. I'll never bag her out. I take my hat off to her. Dating a broken father is not easy. I have the times where there's days I just don't want to be around anyone. I'm down and out, and and she's helped me mature as a person. I'll forever be grateful that she came into my life. But unfortunately, there was dramas with me having a lot of communication with she wasn't stopping me from, seeing my daughter. Obviously, I haven't seen her yet, but just started putting controls and limitations. And she did say to me she felt threatened by the mother of my child. And I said, listen, she lives on the other side of the world. She doesn't live in Brisbane. And unfortunately, just, and she just got her charity registered. I think, unfortunately, I'm working 2 jobs and doing the podcast. I'm fighting for this fight coming up, and now she's got this charity registered. We're just both busy people as well. Maybe just the timing wasn't right either. So, and I've decided to leave my dog with her because I'm hardly ever home. She has a house with a yard with her dogs, and, I decided to give my dog to her. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate because she's played a big part to get to where I am today, and I'll never speak a bad word about her. Hope that didn't come across bad. She's a very good person, very good woman. But unfortunately, just now that I got a line of communication with my daughter, I just really don't want anything coming between that. So.
And also, it sounds like the two of you are doing stuff where you're absorbing a lot of people's negative energy.
Well, that's how we met, through the podcast. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I felt like that first that episode that you're discussing was a first date.
Oh, really? That's what my editor said. My editor said the same thing because he was editing it. And, she does, and some people have asked me like, oh, you guys not together anymore, but we feel bad if we're speaking. I said, no, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm not one that support her, back her, get behind the charity.
When you were catching up together after you'd both been doing your separate things, were you sometimes deflated from energy?
Yeah. Look, she has a lot of fathers reaching out to her. Her charity is called Men's Emotions Matter Movements. That's how I got on the podcast, and she gets flooded, and she's a very spiritual person. She gives all her time, and it taxes her. Like, she's an empath, like she wants to heal everybody, which is, I take my hat off to her. But there's days where I get flooded and I just can't. Like, I'd do my best to get back to everyone. I look at the camera and say this, and I'd like to put my hand on my heart and say I've at least gotten back to like 90% of people. But there's days where I just can't get back to everyone. The email, if there's a day where I've got the energy, boom, great. But there's days where I might not have energy and the messages get too far behind. I just can't catch up with everyone, man.
Yeah.
You know, just, and some are just asking too much of me. And I have to remind fathers, like, I'm not a police officer, counsellor, psychologist, standby legal aid. And some of them crack the shits at me, like, you don't care, you don't reply. It's like, brother, like, I've got my own life too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just expect me to drop what I'm doing. And they'll send, like, I do a lot of voice notes, like, which is because it's easy. I'm always on the go. Some guys will send me a voice note, and I can see how long it goes for, 7 minutes, 5 minutes. And I'm like, shit, man, like, how am I going to catch up on all this? Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I guess I didn't factor that in. When I did the podcast, I just thought I'm going to do the podcast to let fathers tell their story. I didn't realize what that would entail, and just boom, like every father in the country just trying to reach out to me.
Yeah, I put a few videos up on Facebook, and you know, nothing like the reach that you have, but it was just like a few dozen dads, and then some of them would want to be mates and hang out and this and that. When I'm like, I've got my own inner circle that has taken me ages to look after. And to be honest, the last thing I want to do when I'm hanging out is talk about this.
Bro, 100%.
Is that bad?
No, because some days I'll get back and, like, you know, my partner just broke up recently. We had to make a rule, like, once we're in home, let's just talk about us. Because, you know, if I've come to the podcast or I go to work, people want to talk about family court, and then we go home and it's like, she's getting emails, I'm getting emails about family court, and we seem to just be constantly speaking about it, and we had to kind of put a barrier there to just, you know, put that divide. But I have met up with people before, and I've said, listen, I'm going to be in this location at this time. I'm not going to meet up with people all the time. Yeah. And then, like, I've gone to lunch, and, like, someone's trying to talk to me, and everyone's cutting over each other because everyone wants to tell me this story, and then they're just trauma dumping, like, anyway, and then she said this. And it's like, and it's like,
oh my God.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And I
Yeah.
just feel like, shit, man. Like, and I get burned out, man.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I say that I do. It burns me out. Like, I don't have the magical answer for everyone. You know, yes, I'm here to help you get your story out, but at the same time, I just can't be your. You know, counselors get paid for that. Psychologists, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're trained in it. I'm not. You know? I'm not trained. I don't get paid. Like, so. Yeah, but, you know, I feel for him. But sorry, bro, we've gone off track.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I wanted to hear about this.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
I'll charge you later. No.
I'll get the invoice later.
No, because that's what I mean. Is like, I just sometimes I'm watching your shows because I love listening to them. Like, especially because I spend a lot of time in the car.
Yeah.
So they're easy to listen to while I'm in the car. And sometimes I kind of want to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah,
because that's what I'm hoping for one day.
Yeah.
Is baby steps. I truly believe I'm never going to get that because of the person I'm dealing with, their mum, because I don't think you can go from, you know, accusing someone of saying, oh, and by the way, all of it's untrue. Oh, he called me fat. He controls my money. He laughs at me and abuses me. To then he tried to get a gun. I think he wants to murder the girls. To then he raped me.
Yeah.
Like, what's the next progression?
Yeah.
And I know what the next progression is, right? Is child abuse.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Where I think the only way that she will be able to justify to my daughters about why they didn't see me is I found your dad doing something to you. I mean, that's the natural progression, because I told people years ago, it's just a matter of time before I get accused of rape.
Well, yeah, I faced child safety. Me and my lawyer had to go down there and sit there with this Bible full of allegations. Child protection, they emailed me first. I freaked out. I was like, whoa. And I was forwarded to my lawyer. Lawyer called them. They're squashed. Then child safety came in. A separate department.
Yeah.
And then I had to go sit. Well, I had nothing to hide. I said, yeah, sure. What do you want me to do? Come down and be interviewed. Sure. Went down, did that. They pulled the application that was on me. You know, I answered everything they need to. Okay, no concerns here. But, you know, still a shit feeling. You know?
Oh, yeah. How did you react to it when they were asking you? Like, were you angry or were you deadpan?
I didn't like the way they are.
I didn't like it either.
The way they welcomed me, it wasn't welcome. They set the tone. It's like, you know, they looked at me like I was a piece of shit, you know. And, yeah, just the way they questioned me. And I remember, like, I've said this before, the first supervision contact center I went to, she was amazing. It was respectful. It was, when you do the consult, it's just one-on-one. The second supervision contact center, I did not like. There was 3 females around me interrogating me about these. I'm like, hold on a second. Is this how you normally operate? Because the last contact center I went to, the console was just 1-on-1. There's 3 of us around me throwing questions at me, like, you know, and I was just, I didn't appreciate that, you know, so, but, you know, it's, I feel like I got a good army mate. He filed in 2019. He's still going and he updates me and I just get shivers. I'm just thinking, man, I don't know how you've been going so long. I cracked 3 years. I cracked, you know, I broke, you know, he's 6 years still going and you just remember all the constant correspondence back and forth, affidavits and emails and so you do this call and you just think, oh man, it just sucks the life out of you.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I wasn't enjoying life at all.
No.
Yeah.
No.
When I was going through that, I had this bad thing. My lawyers would always tell me off for it. I laugh. Like if someone makes a ridiculous thing, I just start laughing. And I've even been in court where I clap my hand and I go, well done, right? You know, and like I've done a couple really goofy things in court and because I just don't know how else to react to it.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember, and this is rude, but it's just the truth. Well, this is the part that blows me away, which is why I said to you, my case is just in limbo. You know, side story here, because as you know, it goes civil and then it goes criminal. But I remember on one occasion, I had my criminal date, the Supreme Court and the civil case, the magistrates court, and they were on the same day. And I knew this 2 months in advance. And for 2 months, I was like, guys, it's on the same day, over and over and over again. I wrote letters. I went down there. So on the day, from 9 a.m. until 4:15 in the afternoon, I was just like a tennis ball.
Back and forth.
Walking across the road. Have they done that yet? No. Well, we're the Supreme Court. So you got to tell them to make their decision. It's got nothing to do with us. Okay, boom. Da-da-da-da. No. Bang, 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 bang. And now you've been to court. What would happen if in front of the judge, you grabbed your jacket and went, I've had enough of this, and I walked out? They'd drag you back in.
Yeah.
You get told off. They didn't drag me back in.
Really?
Yeah, because they knew. I said, I've had enough of this. And I just walked out. And then I walked out of the other one and they walked me back in. And I went, I'm not calling you Your Honor. I'm not calling you whatever.
Yeah.
I go, this is all day, all night. I said, it's not costing you any money. Like it didn't cost me $70,000 in legal fees. It cost me $1.5 million in my business. You know, people say the word literally a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I literally walked away from my business. Like my business was like, it's like a $370,000 setup in West End. I had my other store in Ashgrove getting put together. I had
West End, Brisbane?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's where I grew up. I went to Brisbane Old School. Yeah.
So my store was all there, ready to go. My pizza store, I had 3 locations. It was called Pizza Emporium.
Whereabouts in West End was it?
You know, the Glass Factory, which is now NYC Bagels.
Okay, it's been a while since because I lived in the Goldie.
Yeah, well, I had everything going. And what happened is that we had organised that I wanted to say goodnight to my daughter every night, but I couldn't. So she would say, I'm going to call at, say 7 o'clock at night. And I said, why can't you call any time during the day? I go, I'm a chef. I work at night time. The place opens from 4:30 to whatever, and I open at lunch. Why can't you just call at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 8 o'clock at night or whatever, 8 o'clock in the morning? No, you're not going to tell me when I'm going to call. I'm going to call at 7 o'clock at night, and that's it. So I would have my phone in my hand the whole time. So I would put a couple extra employees on so that they could
take care of that workload.
Yeah, exactly.
Through.
And then the phone would ring and I would answer. Oh, hang up. That was the phone call for the day. So then she could say, I technically called. Right? And so then I was in tears and I actually just went to my landlord and said, listen, I'm going to Melbourne. I have to see my girl. I have to try. It's like, you just signed a lease. Like it's like, we're going to sue you for like $600,000-$700,000. I was like, I don't care. Right. And so I told the other one in Ashgrove, you can keep my fit out. I lost $120,000 and you can keep that fit out, $370,000 and closed up my other business. I literally put the keys in the landlord's thing with I'm off to Melbourne, do whatever you want with my name.
Yeah.
And boom, just went. And 2.5 years, 36 times in court. I had 15 female judges and 4 male judges. The 4 male judges all reduced my when I say what's the right word, like I'd have to go into the station and kind of
sign in. Yeah.
Sign in.
Yeah.
They go, why are you doing that, Mr. Perez? I was like, no, I'll get rid of that. Then I'd go to see a female judge.
Put it back in.
Put it back on. But then increase it from 2 to 3, you know? And so it went back and forth. And the female judges always increased it and then adjourned it. And it would be adjourned for 8 weeks, 3 months, 4 months. The male judge was like, why has this been adjourned so many times? Are you busy this Friday, Mr. Perez? No? Okay, well, you be back in this Friday. Then I'd go in on Friday, female judge. Why? You were just here 2 days ago. Yeah, no, adjourned 8 weeks. So it's been adjourned nonstop. I've never had my day in court, right? And I got called into the police station and they said, Adrian, your ex-partner said that you just drove past her place. You can't be within 500 meters of her place. And I said, I haven't been in that postcode for about 4 or 5 years. I live 40 kilometers away. And at the time that you said I was doing that, I was working, you know? I had a full-time job working as a car salesman for Mazda, and I worked part-time as a pizza bar. And, you know, I've heard a lot of fathers say this. We work 2 jobs or we keep ourselves busy in clubs and organizations 7 days a week just to keep ourselves busy. So I said, impossible. I've got all these witnesses. There's CCTV cameras. We don't really care.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
And I was like, I've got proof that I was nowhere near that place.
They don't care.
They don't care. And this happened multiple times, by the way. So they call me up on a Sunday night, say, Adrian, can you just come into the station just to have a word? And I went, yeah, sure. And I was living in Baldwin at the time. So my local station was 5 minutes away. So it was on a Sunday. So they took me in and they released me 11 days later.
Wow.
I was in the same clothes, no phone call, nothing. My flatmates, my girlfriend at the time, my mum, my work, I just got a promotion too as well. The new job was starting on a Wednesday. No one knew where I was for 11 days. So Sunday and then Thursday, a week and a half later.
Wow.
You know, I had a full-blown beard because as you know, when you're in the cells, you can't shave. I was in there with all sorts of blokes. Some were like acting tough. Then I'd found out they were in there for parking fines. Other blokes were in there for assault, burning a car, drugs. It was hard. And I kept it cool as, Percy. I couldn't believe how cool I was the whole time. I was just like, you know, the whole time. And on the 11th day, I was like, hey, listen, after 12 days, you get a criminal record number. Like, what's going on? And they released me on the 11th day. I went to see the judge. It was the same one that had seen me previously that, you know, was saying to my ex-partner, and I just want to commend your bravery for, you know, speaking up. I'm like, what's brave about talking crap?
Yeah, that's right.
Like if talking crap is brave, I'm the bravest bloke
in Australia,
you know? And so, you know, she said to me, I remember, you know, was it worth it? Because I'd try to see my daughter at a daycare centre. She goes, was it worth it, Mr. Perez? I was like, what, like 10 days in jail to see my daughter for 10 minutes? I was like, yeah, sign me up tomorrow. So she says to me, you can do 4 months in jail or you can be on a good behaviour bond for 2 years. And the 2 years is, you know, got to sign in at the station, got to do a men's behavioural course and got to do 200 hours of community service, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'll just take the 4 months in jail.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like absolutely.
Yeah.
You know? And then they go, no, you've got to do the 2 years. And if you contact the mother again or go to the daycare centre again, it'll be my pleasure to throw you in jail straight away. Okay, so I breached it 329 times.
Yeah.
I went to the daycare centre 25 more times. I went to the local supermarket again, and I sent about 300 odd text messages. None of them rude.
Yeah.
All of them just like, hey, how the girls going? Hey, do you want some money for the supermarket? In that time, I saw the girls a couple of times. Saw them at Carlton Park, saw them at, you know, the local park, all that kind of stuff, you know. But yeah, like I didn't care. And that's the beauty of this, which you will understand and other fathers will understand. When a judge says to you, we're going to punish you, it's like, I'm already punished, you clown.
Yeah, I'm already in hell.
Yeah, like jail, that's not a problem. You want to put me in jail for 4 months, 6 months, 1 year? That's not the punishment. The punishment is me missing out on my first daughter's crawling, on her first steps, her first word. 10 birthdays for one daughter, 10 birthdays for the other daughter, 10 Father's Days, 10 Christmases. You know, the pleasure of seeing them laugh because you're a goofball watching all the Pixar movies with them, making them a birthday cake because I'm a chef, teaching them how to ride a bike, their first day at school, making sure that you're the one that brings them up when they've had their feelings hurt, being there when they've got a cold, do they need braces like their dad? All the things I could waffle on about it forever. Yeah. I miss all of those things. You think jail time is the punishment? You stupid, stupid person.
I know, right?
And so it makes you tough.
Yeah.
I've lost my empathy and compassion, and my wife has really brought me back around. I still don't have it the way I used to, but like hats off to you for what you're doing.
No, thanks, mate.
Because honestly, I probably got 10% of what you've got as far as the empathy tank goes.
Yeah.
I'll listen to a dad once, twice, 3 times, and in the end, I'll be like, dude, I go, you've got a million options.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think fathers can, and I won't judge them, can get stuck in that rut, that cycle, instead of going, you got options. And because I used to be like that too, I was just like waking up every day and just like fucking poor me. And I thought, you know what? I need to find some purpose. And I thought, I'm going to do a podcast, You use pain as power,
That's how I found your podcast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I said to someone, I'm going to do something no one else is doing. I'll do a podcast.
Oh, man.
And then they go, oh, there's one called Broken Fathers. Yeah, but I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to be a bit like, rah, 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 rah. Yeah, that's how he is. And then I watched that. I was like, okay, what am I going to do next?
Oh, man, it comes with a lot. But I don't know if you watched recently, off topic, there's a podcast called The Reset Podcast.
Now, to tell you the truth, I actually only watch yours and everything else is cooking or music.
Well, real quick, there's a mother that's pretty much, because, it's unheard of, it's unheard of to hear a mother go through what fathers have been through.
Yeah.
And because, I'll say it, I think the family court's very one-sided, but anyway. But this mother has pretty much been through what me, you, and our father's been through, and even the host, like, it's unheard of because this normally happens to the father. And she's suffering parental alienation, and her father's taken off with the kids. But where was I going that story? Oh, I said I think she might be doing her own podcast about mums, but I'm surprised, or tour. But I'm surprised a mother hasn't come out and started a Broken Mothers podcast. Just sort of piggybacked off my name, which I honestly wouldn't care. If a mum did it, go for it.
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is, when you could do a podcast on football, NRL, but when you do one on family court, it comes with a lot of heat, cease to desist emails and stuff like that. So, which, I don't give a fuck about. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You actually don't care.
Yeah, no.
I remember the cops came to my pizza shop once and they handed me another intervention order. And right in front of them, because I was cooking at the time, I just put it in the pot, lit it up, took a picture, sent it to my ex's mum, and this is sidetracking, but I remember he was really tall, the police officer, and a goofy looking bastard. And she was very, very tough female police officer. And I'm not into kickboxing or anything like this, whatever. But I said something to them and he was offended and she took it as a compliment. I said, whatever, Will Ferrell and Ronda Rousey, get the F out of my shop. And she was like, yeah,
I'm Ronda.
Yeah. He got all upset. She was like, don't worry about it. And she was just all happy because I called her Ronda Rousey. But yeah, like you just don't care anymore.
It's funny. I was speaking to two of my guests. There are a couple I caught up from last night real quick. And they live, they won't care, but I won't say the town. They live in a small town. And since doing the podcast, they've had the cops pull them up, like walking. And they're like, man, we watched the podcast. Thanks for doing that because it's opening our eyes on what was really going on in your, because they obviously had to handle them at some point. And it's I actually have heaps of cops message me. They buy my merchandise. Some have sent photos of them in the patrol car. They're like, look, don't post it. I'm like, that's right, I won't post it. But they're like, we're big supporters. Unfortunately, given our job, we can't publicly comment on your podcast to support you. We'll lose our job. I said, would you come on the podcast? Like, we would, but we'd lose our job.
That's what's annoying though,
I know. And I had a cop from New South Wales. He emailed me. I gave him a call, and he's like, mate, just to let you know, like, you've got a lot of backing from cops down here. Like, unfortunately, we won't tell you online. but
Yeah.
because we know about the bullshit DV crap that goes on, and we're the ones that have to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
And when he says deal with it, like there's only so much we can do. Like we know we're going to go put a DV on this bloke. We know that we shouldn't be doing it, but we're bounded by our legislation
And they do know.
And they do know, and they're like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, we're gonna have to go put a DV on this bloke when we know we shouldn't be doing it, but we're gonna turn this bloke's life upside down. And someone told me we left a job because of it. I was like, you know what, good on you, because some of them have morals, and they're like, man, we're sick of dealing with it.
Oh, some of the police I've dealt with, though, you know.
I've had good ones. I've had some.
Me too. Good ones and bad ones. One incredible story is, you know, when I had the DV on me, all the intervention, all the stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I was at home at Avondale Heights in Melbourne. And the mother called me. And, you know, we're not supposed to have communication.
Yep.
And she said, listen, I'm going to drop off the kids at 10 o'clock in the morning and I'll pick them up at 12. And this is the first time she was going to drop them off at my house. And I was elated. You know, I was so happy. I was like, yeah. She goes, I'm just going to go to the supermarket. I was like, great, I'll take them to the park. She goes, no, you're not allowed to take them to the park. And I go, the park's like literally 50 meters down the street. It's a beautiful day. She goes, no. She goes, you're not to take them to the park. I was so scared of her. I was like, okay. And I had a big house with a big backyard. We're playing games, this and that. She dropped them off. She was being a bit rude to me. And I was like, oh, don't come here and drop them off with an attitude. You can stay, you know. And I was like, don't be like that. And she left. Boom. It must have been 15, 20 minutes later. 2 police cars and a paddy wagon, 6 police officers rocket to my house. She had gone there crying in hysterics going, I just dropped them off and then he pushed me out of the house and I don't know if they're safe. I was told to get out of my own house, right? And then my daughter, like it would be like in a movie scene, my daughter's on the other side of the screen with her hand there. She goes, hey, Daddy, why are you outside? And she goes, can I come outside? And they wouldn't let her outside. I go, listen, I'm just playing hide and seek with the police officers. And I trusted the male police officer there. Like he had an all right vibe. And I was like, you know, this gentleman, he's going to look after you, right? Anyway, eventually the male police officer let my daughters come out. And then they had to interview me. Now, I don't know if this is a thing, right? But I was getting interviewed by a male police officer for the civil case and then straight away getting interviewed by the female officer for a criminal case. They were right next to each other. I was sitting down in a chair and my youngest one, my second daughter, was climbing all over me like I was a play equipment and laughing and giggling. In his report, he writes things along the lines of, went there, the girl seemed to be happy and safe, told him that he had broken the law, blah, blah, blah. He knows he's got to go to court. Something like that.
Female officer.
The female one wrote, Adrian was not taking my question seriously. I think he was under the influence of drugs. Now, mind you, I've never even had a cigarette in my life. I wouldn't even know what drugs look like, you know? And so I went to the station. I said to the male officer, look, this is the report she wrote. And he goes, yeah, I'm disappointed with that. I was like, well, you could easily just say, because you were right next to her, that this is crap. He's like, yeah, no, I can't do that. And so he got upset because I called him a dog. But what are you if you're not with right. You were right there, you could do something to assist me. He goes, yeah, no.
Do you know who Bettina Arne is?
No.
I'm going to upload some of her content later, but anyway, she had 2 whistleblower cops come on. She interviewed them, blurred out their face, gave them a different name, but these cops were actually partners, as in partners in the job. And they said that they got called out to a altercation. The female had called the cops, said there was an altercation, DV, they rocked up. They did an assessment, and both the female and the male cop believed that the male was actually the victim, and they took away the female. And she's like, what are you doing? You can't take me away. I called you guys for help. And they said, well, no, we actually believe you're the perpetrator. We've done an assessment. We've spoken to both of you and blah, blah. Went back to the police station and they got in trouble from the OIC because, they said, no, well, you should be taking you should have brought the male in, you know? And I've had another cop QPS cop tell me that, and I've said it many times before. He said, we are trained to take away, even if we believe the male is a victim, we are trained to take him away as a perpetrator.
I know. That's incredible.
And even when I had the DV Connect guest on, they said that, you know, in the training policy manuals, they are told if a male calls up as a victim, you are trained to coerce them or ask them questions like, well, but what did you do to her for her to act like that? You know, to trying to put it back on him, you know, to convince him that you're actually the perpetrator. It's just...
And it's funny that you say that. That's a line that every single bloke hears if you start dating women and they know you you become vulnerable and share your story,
They'll use it against you.
yeah, no, how many times do you hear, they do, but how many times do you hear, yeah, but what did you do? You must have done something.
Yeah,
You must have done something.
Yeah, look,
You know?
I'll get those comments because I'm open about it. I went to a supervision contact center. I shouldn't have been there, but that's the way it happened.
Yeah.
The TPO got put on me. They put my daughter's name, and I had to see my daughter and thing. And people are like, oh well, he must have done something to be in supervision contact center, or it's like, righto, mate,
Yeah.
And in my old studio, I had like all my, because I worked overseas for a long time, I've got all these replica, M4s and all my GATs that I use overseas in like a military memorabilia type frame with my medal. And you get all these dickheads like, oh, look at all the weapons on you, or no wonder you're not allowed to see your kid. And it's like, oh my God. You know what I mean? There's
but you know what? You can not have those weapons and you still get stupid commentary, you know?
Well, that's one guy said, something like, how you allowed real weapons on your wall, and like something like that. I don't bother replying because then you get into this tiggy back and forth. But I'm just thinking, mate, if they were real, like one cert would have kicked in my door by now.
Yeah.
They're not real.
Yeah.
Like it's just anyway.
But that's the thing with me as well. When I was accused of like trying to get a gun, I'm like, I don't even know where to get a water gun, and I'm sure you got to fill out paperwork.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, do you think? Sorry, I'm sidetracking
no,
here
man,
again.
go for it.
Do you think that we should be allowed polygraph testing in family court?
Yeah, but they don't use it, so they don't take it serious for whatever reason. So I had a gentleman on called Nick. He's ex-Vic Pole copper. He runs a lie detecting business, but it's the days of the polygraph are over. Now it's the retina. So it's some sort of machine. I've never done it, but it has like, I think 89 or 91% accurate rate. It reads the retina of your eye. I'll probably explain this wrong. Sorry, Nick. But nice guy. But yeah, he travels around Australia. People pay him. Some couples will just, like a married couple, they might have been married 30 years and, they want to find out if she ever cheated on him or stuff like that,
Yeah.
So I think it's like a goggle, and like you ask the question, apparently it's the reaction time from your retina or something. So if you get, is your name Adrian? You say yes, but if there's a pause or something like that, it will read the delay time or something like that.
But just with the eyes, not like with the rest.
Apparently this is more accurate than the polygraph.
I had an ex-girlfriend with a lazy eye. She would have got away with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
I don't know, but it's famous people get him to come for whatever reason.
I reckon it should be introduced.
Yeah, look, it's
I'd gladly participate.
Well, why they don't use it, I don't know. But I've heard through multiple sources that they don't take it serious.
Yeah, I've heard that you could present it to a judge. If there's not a jury, they can choose to look at it or not.
But let's be honest, I've presented real hard evidence to judges and they still didn't take it on board. And so like, why are they going to take a polygraph on board if you're not even going to take on board real hard evidence? Like
it's just annoying because I don't understand the process. So when I went and did the diploma, and I'm going into law part-time as well, is to understand the process. And I remember one of my teachers saying to me, if you're angry now, by the end of the year, you'll be just as angry. Because you won't understand it,
Sorry, you go.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, if I've, and I hate saying the word rape, it's horrible. But if I've been accused of rape and that's good enough for them to go, yeah, we won't let you see your girls, shouldn't that actually be investigated?
Yeah, right.
So this is what happened when I was in Victoria. They said to me that, and once again, I'm going all over the place. Apologies.
No, don't be silly.
They said you're going to go to jail for 4 months because you've breached it so many times. That's what I was told. So we can't give you a time limit, but they kind of knew me. And that way we can't give you a time to do your stuff. They could arrest you at any time. So I said, great, just give me a week to finish my 2 jobs, pack up my house, put everything in my mate's garage. This is when I was in Melbourne. So I did all of that, had a big dinner with my mates. Goodbye, see you later. I'll be back in 4 months, maybe 6 months, I'm not sure. My mate, Jeff, then took me to the Camberwell police station on a Sunday night. And this is exactly what happened. I present myself about 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. And they told me present yourself on a Sunday night, not Friday, because then you have to spend the whole weekend there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they go, Adrian, we got a problem. We can't process you right now. And I go, why not? And they go, did you try and see your daughter on Friday, just 2 days ago? I went, yeah, I did. And you go, yeah, so we got to start this all over again, right? And I sat there for a couple of hours and they said, listen, you've got to present yourself on the something like the 14th of January. And I said, it's like the first week of October. You know, we're talking like
a couple months,
3.5 months away, you know? And I go, what am I supposed to do with that? And then the two senior police officers that had dealt with me the whole time, they go, give me your phone. I give them my phone. They walk outside and they go, piss off to Queensland and don't come back.
True.
And I go, what? And they go, we know what this is and you're just going to keep getting yourself in trouble. We know you're a good bloke. Just piss off to Queensland, don't come back. Handed my phone back. See you later.
Wow.
That was it.
Good on them.
You know? But the warrant's just been there forever. When I knew I was going to come on this show, the first thing I did was call every single police station I've had something to do with, which is about 8, right? Just asking them about my warrant. Yep. So when I've gone to Stafford Heights, you know, here in Queensland, they go, yeah, we know you got a warrant, but we're not going to do anything about it because it's just on breaches. No one seems to be concerned.
Oh, wow.
And then you call Avondale Heights, Moonee Ponds, Essendon, Broad Meadows, Camberwell in Victoria. Yeah, no, it's been here. You got 4. When are you coming back? I'm not. Well, no worries, mate. Take care.
Yeah, wow.
Now, this is the part that should freak out women. If I really was a person that was a perpetrator of domestic violence, the Victorian police are going, well, can you go to Queensland and be their problem?
You're right. Exactly.
Like if I really was a rapist and really did try and get a gun and really did do all these things, the Victorian police are saying, too hard basket, just go to Queensland.
Yeah.
And then some poor female meets me in Queensland having no idea I've been to court 36 times and been arrested and spent 11 days in jail and all this and that. How is that happening?
I know, right?
By the way, my wife's watching. I'm not that guy. No.
Yeah, look, it's a whirlwind, man. Like, and I think there's got to be so many questions asked. Like, are the cops backlogged? Are they undermanned? Do they know that the system needs improving? Do they care?
They are. Well, when we finish, I'll just show you a little questionnaire I've got in the back of the car, and I actually kind of highlighted Pauline Hanson's guest appearance on the show, where I think she said to you, 75% of police inquiries,
DV,
whatever. So I photocopied it, went to about a dozen police stations. I was hoping to have a meaningful one-on-one with a few police officers to be able to bring something into the show, but they didn't want a bar of it. No. But I just asked them all one thing. I go, could I ask you one thing? Pauline Hanson said this, 75%, every single one of them cut me off before the sentence was finished going, oh, it's so much more than that. No, it's like 90% or more. That all said at 3 different police stations, they went, oh, it's so much more.
Did they say whether they said how many of them are genuine or how many they think are fake?
Yeah, no, I couldn't even get more than a 1 minute conversation. You know,
no one wants to touch it. Yeah, I've had a cue. He was in the army. He's a cop now. He warned me. He said, "Mate, don't talk about the DV." He goes, "They'll come for you." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Mate, it's a cash cow."
Yeah,
it's a cash cow.
It is. It's an industry. It's actually a business.
It's a business.
Like, if you actually said to the government, oh, tomorrow all DV is going to cease to exist, there'd be lawyers and politicians up in arms.
Yeah. Who's paying them? Who's making money? The courts are going to be dead.
Yep. It's an absolute industry. It's a shame. I'm worried about, when I eventually, because I know eventually I'll meet my girls, I'm worried about how am I going to tell them this? Because as I'm speaking to you, I'm actually finding this really hard to tell the story, not from an emotional point of view, because it's all over the place.
Yeah. Well, let's...
like for me, I'm embarrassed.
What? No, that's not
I am though,
let's... did you say you've done time?
Yes, I just did I did one day at one station and then the 11 days at whatever. Okay, yep. But on the record, it shows 1 and 10. And they said one more day and I have a criminal record number for the rest of my life, which obviously I don't want. Yeah. That's what I was told. I don't know if that's correct. Is that right? 12 days.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so I think that's what it is. But, I'm worried about like when I meet my girls, are they going to be emotionally broken, because I would have had no influence on them. And, not to besmirch the mother's entire family. Actually, stuff it, right? Is that I'm all about laughing and singing and dancing and food and running amok and being outside and all this kind of stuff. And they're all about, like I struggled to be in that household because it was all like about screaming at each other, paying each other out. If someone was talking about wanting to chase a dream or achieve a dream, they'd be like, pull your head in, you're not better than us. You're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Like the girl's mum, she wanted to be a vet or an actress or do all these different things. And if she ever spoke about daydreaming about something, man, she always got knocked down. I remember she had a brother once that he was good enough to play AFL, but, just no encouraging words, and I want my daughters, if they want to chase something, I want to be able to know that they've got a parent going, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about when they ask me, because I've got 550 or 560 odd letters that I've written to them that I want to show you later, but I'm going to give it to them. And I've got all these presents and stuff and little memorabilia I've given to them. Well, what do I say when they say, Dad, why weren't you around? Because if I tell them the truth, it's brutal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how old are they now? Sorry,
They are my youngest just turned
11
a couple months ago, and my eldest is going to be 13 in October. Speaking about being left alone, both of their birthdays are on the 2nd of a certain month. On their birthday, shut down.
Yeah.
My phone off.
Yeah.
I'll go to the movies. I go to the gym. I'll grab a burger.
Yeah.
I just want to be left the hell alone.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
For me, I'm blessed that my scenario's changed just over the last month.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, and I hope. I don't know how I'm gonna. Like, do I film the journey going there? Because because hopefully it restores faith or gives hope to fathers out there going, shit, like Percy somehow reconnected. I mean, still I haven't gone there yet, but I'm hoping that the communication line stays open.
Are you scared about the move? If you don't mind me asking.
No. I'm just scared that I mean, no one moves to England for a better way of life, right? They all move. They all move here.
Yeah.
But that's where my daughter is.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if she's in Afghanistan. Like, so that it doesn't. If that's where she is, that's where I go. Now, people that don't know the context of what's talking about, how come you didn't move to age ago? Well, if you got to know the context behind it all, and now that I didn't think I was going to get a line of communication till she was 18.
Yeah.
Am I scared of moving there? Absolutely not. I'm just scared that. I'm scared of one thing. It's just I don't want to move there and then for whatever reason I get blocked from seeing my daughter. It's like pack up and move there. Hey, I'm here. I'll be a cleaner on the street. I don't care. I'll rent a room. I'll get a job somewhere. I just want access and time to my daughter and be able to help out. Take her to her OT sessions or her specialist sessions, stuff like that. I want to be able to help our daughter have a better life. But I don't want to move then, like, you change your mind, like, oh, actually, you don't have access. It's like, that's what I'm scared of.
Well, yeah, and that's a much bigger move than going to Melbourne. When I went to Melbourne, I went there with a small belief that if I lived there, the mother made me believe that I'd be able to see them, like, even if it was once a week. Oh, God, once a week, 2 hours.
Yeah.
It sounds awful, but I would have taken it.
Yeah, take what you can get.
And then, no, it's just awful how it played out,
Yeah.
And, the fake smiling. If I had $1 for every fake smile, hey, how are you? And I come across easygoing. And so then someone's like, how's your day going? Oh, man, you won't believe the weekend I had. I got a flat tire.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah. No, how about you? Oh, my day was worse. My air conditioning broke down. I was like, oh, okay, no.
Yeah, man. I know.
I'll tell you what was bad as well is the dismissive way I was like with just friendships in general, I was just very, very easy just to be able to walk away from anybody.
Yeah, and I found it's not their fault. Like when I was going through it, people are like, oh, hey, we're having a baby shower, or it's our kid's birthday, and kind of like, it's not their fault. It's like, that's the last place I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm going through family court. I can't see my kids, my daughter, sorry, and they're just being nice. Hey, do you want to come to our baby? And it's like, nah, that's the last place I want to be. Yeah. Because, it just reminds me of what I don't have or what I'm not getting and stuff like that. So that's not their fault. They just don't realise.
I was happy for my friends, and when I got to be invited for stuff like that, what I didn't like is if I was out in public and I would see a dad with their kids and the dad was ignoring their kids, like they're on the phone the whole time, or they're just like, leave me alone, go play. And I was like, oh, dude,
Yeah. And that's why, let's just say I do move to England. What do I do with the podcast? Because when I do go there, I just want to give all my time to my daughter, catch up time.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, if this has an expiry date.
I don't know what to do. Do I retire? Do I hand it over to someone else? I'll put a lot of time and energy and money into it. Do I just let it sit here for now and go to England, see what happens? Because, I mean, if I do it, I mean, I'm in England. Do I interview England fathers? I know their system's terrible. Do I do it via webcam? But at the same time, I feel there's this thing called digital dementia. 60 Minutes is the thing. And I think it's a legit thing. They're talking about teenagers now that have signs of dementia because we're zombies on a phone. And some days I feel like because I have a podcast on all different platforms and notifications come in, I have OCD, so I have to wipe the notifications. I can't just have 200 email notifications. Like I have to zero everything. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. And so my mind is always, I admit I'm bad. I'm always on my phone. But when I go to England, I don't want to be on my phone. So maybe it's best I just hand it over to someone else and, because I don't want to be on my phone. And there's some days I can't string a sentence together.
I've got that.
Yeah, bro. And, and I think it's from always being on my phone.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm a zombie, and sometimes I wake up and I'm just using the most basic words, and because I just can't even string a sentence together. I just feel like I'm in a zombie mode, So, and when I go to bed at night, I turn my phone on airplane mode because I need my mind to switch off. Like I might wake up at 3 a.m, go hang a piss, come back, and what I do instead of going back to bed, I turn airplane mode on or off.
Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah,
like, that's an addiction.
That is,
And I'm going, it's just, it's bad. Like I admit that's a problem, but so if I do go to England, I'll just I don't know, retire the podcast, hand it to someone else. I don't know, but all I know.
I hope it doesn't get retired.
Well, look, I don't want maybe find the right person to take over.
Yeah,
because I want it to continue so fathers can think, but I just hope fathers can understand that when I do go, my daughter's my priority now, and I'm sure there's some fathers that might feel let down from me, but I got to make up for lost time. I just want to give all my time to my daughter.
To tell you the truth, I don't think anyone who's fair dinkum would be let down.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it's freaking massive. Like what you've done,
Thanks, man.
and having the conversation the way you have it as well, because everyone else has it in a diplomatic way, walking on eggshells, this and that, and it's boring. It doesn't achieve anything at all.
Yeah.
I find it quite irritating when I have a debate with someone about it.
Yeah.
Because they find the conversation polarizing, and you kind of have created a world here in this podcast where it's not polarizing.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just have a chat.
Yeah, that's right.
The first time you listen to it, if you don't know about it, it would sound really like harsh. I don't want to use the word polarizing again, but but then you start to listen to it over and over again. And the fact that you've had legal practitioners on and Pauline Hanson and counselors and stuff, and the people with their hidden voices, but it's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But people have to understand, they'd be celebrating that you get to go back to England and see your daughter.
Yeah, they are. And I appreciate, like, I'm sure I haven't even asked you yet, where you're having second doubts, or like some of my kids, they come in, they go, man, I nearly turned around because, they've had to, some of them, their journey finished a long time ago, but they've had to, some of them redug the affidavits, and they were going, and, they didn't want to have to relive the trauma again, which I totally get. So I appreciate all my guests who come on. But I feel that a lot of them, once they tell their story, they're going, it's a weight off their shoulders. They go, you know what? I've told it. That's my story. That's my chapter. I'm moving on with life now. So in the future, people might ask them, or they ask me, hey, what's the go? They want to ask me questions. I just go, hey, man, if you're that interested, I'll just send them my episode. I'm not going to tell a 3-year court journey to you right here, right now. If you're really that interested, here's my episode. It's done. There it is. There.
Okay, so that's what I could do now.
Yeah.
Listen, well, hey, what's going on? How can you not see your girls? Flick.
Well,
press the link.
and hopefully that's how you feel afterwards. You go, you know what? I've told my story, and you know, if my girls come looking for me one day, that's where it is, you know.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just be blown away. I'll be the happiest man in the world. When I
Well,
see my
bro,
girls.
you know, if they Google your name, that episode will come up and
Yeah,
that's
I don't.
your
But see,
story.
I don't even know if they know my name or what I look like or who I am. You know, I hope they do. And you know, with my girls, you know, I hope that they know that they could just call me and I would drop everything for them. You know, like I would easily give up a year of my life just to see them for one day.
Yeah.
Like it, you know.
Hey, real quick before I forget, my mind goes like, did you have to do the men's behavior? I had to do it. Did you have to do the men's behavioral program course?
Yeah, but I didn't complete any of it.
Yeah.
I didn't complete none of it.
That's the biggest trap, that one. So there's no women's behavioural course, surprise, right? But you know what they do is, so they get you to do it, and it's an admission that, so they use it against it. Go, oh, so you've done the course, so you admit that you've got a problem. It's like, no.
That's why I didn't finish it.
Yeah, I just did the course because you told me to do it to go see my daughter. So my lawyers actually told me, he goes, just so you know, because I said, if this is a hurdle that's going to stop me, I'll do it. And they go, okay, we'll do it. But they sent an email to the other side saying, Mr. Purcell will do this course, but in no way, shape or form is this an admission that he has committed or has a anger problem or stuff like that. Because I was like, why do we need to say that? Because they'll use this against you. Once you do the course, they go, oh, so Mr. Purcell, you've admitted that you've got a problem because you've done the course. I'm thinking, huh? Yeah. I just did the course because you give me all these courses I have to do to, you know, see my daughter. But yeah,
I stopped after, I think I went twice.
Yeah.
Because the guy that was running it, the clown that was running it was like, Adrian, I've been doing this for 15 years. I can spot a DV perpetrator from a mile away. So let's cut the games. Just tell me, what did you do and how are you not going to do it again? And I was like, I'll tell you what I did. I went back and forth dating someone for 15 years because I was an idiot. That's it.
My guy was actually really good. And he was like, I won't go into detail just in case. But yeah, he was actually really good. He said, you don't need, he goes, 50% of the people that come here don't need to be here because they're just being here because the court are making them do this course to see their kid. But yeah, and he was honest, you know, so.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah,
it is frustrating.
It is.
Yeah,
but if you think, right, if you go to family court's the pizza. A big pizza, you know.
Don't worry, I understand this one.
You know pizza.
Yeah.
Family court is a big pizza.
Yeah.
You know, everyone takes a slice now. One slice is, supervision contact center. One slice is the independent children lawyer. One slice is the barrister in the law firms. One slice is the men's behavioural program. All these slices of the big pizza because everyone's making money from the system. You know. You know, that's why if in the future, like I've always said, now that I've been through it, if someone put a DVO on me or TPO, it's like, I'm not even going to bother going trying to appeal it. Now, I don't want people to take that advice from me. It's just because, I went to DV trial, cost me 70 grand, went for took 14, 16 months or something to win, only for another one to be put on me 1 month later. I was just like, well.
Oh, yeah. And it's
easy to put it on. It's hard to get off. You know what? Put one on me because I'm not going to fight. It's going to be time, energy, and money. But I don't want fathers to take that advice from me because, you know, when you do have one, depending on what you do for work, you can still down and lose your this, lose your loss, and lose that. But, you know, but I'm not fucking doing that shit again.
If I end up going to jail, I have to close up my real estate business, you know, and I've had to talk to my wife multiple times about the decision of going to Melbourne, which I will be doing. They'll technically arrest me. Read out my warrants. They'll then remove for a few months and then say, this is when you've got to go back to court. I have no intention of going back to court with a lawyer because I can't afford it.
No,
it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I can't, right? And then when I go to court, I'll probably lose because the statistic is something like if you can afford the legal fees, 1.5% of men win, and the men that can't afford it, 100% lose. And it's similar in Victoria and Queensland. So if I'm going to go there, I've got a 1.5% chance. Oh, no, I'm going to lose. That's it, you know. But like I had the warrants and they used to, police from Stafford Police Station would come to my house or call me and go, hey, we've got this for you. This is your next court date. Bang, bang, bang. I went 36 times. The warrants, 3 of them are because I didn't go the last 3 times. When I call them up and I say, hey, listen, what's going on with the correspondence? They just refuse to answer the question. I said, I haven't been called, emailed, no posted letters, Stafford police station, all the other police stations, haven't received any correspondence. I've got the same driver's license, phone number, and email, and I've got a PO box. You know. So this one time, they said, "Listen, we can't send you the stuff, not via email or post. You've got to come here and get it." And I said, "Yeah, but I live 1,850 kilometers away." And they go, "It's not our problem." I called back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, I found a good cop. And they go, "Listen, when can you get here?" She goes, "I'm going to go on holiday next week. I will be here on Tuesday. And with the other officer you spoke to, we're happy to help you out. Can you get here between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. next week on Tuesday?" And I went, "Yeah, okay." So I drove 22 and a half hours, 1,850 kilometers from Brisbane to Camberwell Police Station just to get technically arrested, spend 2.5 hours at the police station, sign the thing, sleep in Melbourne for a couple of nights at my mate's house, and then drive back.
Wow.
Right? And the reason why is because I said, "Can I just fly?" And they go, "Well, we don't know if you will come up in the system because you've got multiple warrants."
Okay, yeah.
And I go, "So if you come up in the system, you'll get arrested at the airport, be taken straight to Broadmeadows Police Station, and you'll be processed there. Where if you come to us,"
Direct.
And they go, "We know it's unorthodox, but that's the only option."
Well, good shout out to them for
2-hour window. Yeah. So I've always called Camberwell Police Station. That's the same station where the two cops said, go to Queensland and don't come back.
Shout out to them then.
Yeah. So all the other ones like Broadmeadows and Moonee Ponds and Essendon and all that, shame on you guys.
Yeah.
And Avondale Heights, they can get stuffed. And also, and I don't know if this will be played, but Coorparoo Police Station here in Queensland, if there's ever a police station that should be closed down.
That one?
Oh my God, seriously. And Constable Jared White gets stuffed, eat a dick, right? Seriously. Because
I train out of Coorparoo Boxing Gym. So where is Coorparoo Police Station?
I don't know, in some hole there in Coorparoo. But
is it on Old Cleveland Road?
You know, Jared, I told my wife, I go, I'm going to be the only guest that goes on Percy's show and not swear.
Nah, we really actually, the two guests that I caught up with last night, they've been there a couple. We dropped, they dropped the cops' names. We were actually laughing last night because we were talking about their names. Yeah. Because I had one cop from that area message me saying, "Oh, mate, that cop that you dropped last night, he's actually a good guy and working." Well, I didn't reply. But, yeah.
No, I broke up with an,
There's a guy, there's a cop now. I'll give a good cop a shout out. His name's Matt Pryor from Coomera Police Station. He handled my case, got evidence straight away, and he was awesome. Surface Police Station, Constable Ryan McNamara, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like some of the, there's a female police officer, called
There's good ones and bad ones.
Stephanie Hogman. She used to call me on a private number in her own personal time and just mock me.
Bullshit.
Yeah. And she was the one that actually started like saying to my ex, has he tried to get a gun? Because my ex said she was the one that brought up the gun thing. And, she was the one that interviewed me saying, have I ever, done certain things to my daughters? I cracked it, But the police station at Coorparoo, I broke up with someone and I was so cool, calm and collected when I broke up with them, and I was just like, "Can you get out of my house?" And they were packing up and, yelling at me. And I was like, "That's all right, just get out. Anyway, they started harassing me and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And then went to the police station, made a fake DV claim, went to court once, twice, 3 times. The whole process took 5.5 months. I spent $36,000 on lawyers and a barrister. The barrister was $6,500 just for the day.
Half a day or day.
Yeah, 4 hours or something. Right. So, and I had affidavits from a few ex-partners saying, "No, Adrian's not like this, la, la, la." They all said that they were going to rock up, but my lawyer said that was pointless. But, I had a lot of support. On the day, right, we're in the courtroom. We've got the screens ready to go with footage. We've got all the recordings, all the audio. My barrister's going to clean them up. I'm looking forward to it. We've got really shonky footage in Coorparoo Police Station of Constable Jared White not doing his job and being all flirtatious with the girl, And they go, because they call each other friends sometimes.
Yeah, and
my
friend,
yeah,
what's my dear friend or something?
Yeah, so the police prosecutor was addressing the court and speaking about my barrister and go, oh, this is the very first 30 seconds, Percy. Your Honour, I've just spoken to my friend and I've just let him know we're withdrawing the case because we don't have enough evidence. Did I get my money back?
No.
He asked once, can he get the, no, how about like my feet? No? Okay, no worries. I tried, Adrian, right? And I was like 5.5 months, right? And 36 grand just like that for it to be withdrawn because someone wanted to get back to me because I broke up with him. But this is a real kicker. That was 4 years ago and I still get stalked every month by the same person.
I must give a shout out to my barrister, Chris Wilson. He's I think he's retired now. Absolute gentleman. Because I've heard, and I could be wrong saying this, it's pretty unheard of to get awarded costs. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard like it's like 1 in a million.
He got me costs awarded back. But the way it worked was it wasn't from the day the DV journey started. It was from, I think, when we won the appeal to the end or something like that. But I was awarded costs. But in saying that, it took 6 months to get the costs awarded back because my lawyer then had to go to the court. I didn't have to go, but had to go to court and to justify all the invoices that I paid. And they went, no, we'll accept the one, not accept the one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then like that took 6 months. And obviously they had to take a cut from the 6 months of work to prove what invoices to get back, So,
I'm in the wrong industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a scary process. It's a process I'm not interested in giving any more money to. I'm just not. And I wish that I could just carry on.
Do you reckon AI will take over? Because I know a lot of people, I don't know nothing about AI, but, I know a lot of people now using ChatGPT to write affidavits and to get advice. Do you reckon AI or anything will put lawyers out of business?
That's a good question.
Because look, someone brought up the other day, mechanics aren't going to be put out of business. AI mechanics are hands-on thing.
Yeah.
But in regards to writing affidavits and statements, I'm thinking, I wonder if this is going to.
Because I reckon half the real estate agents in the country won't exist in 5 years.
Why is that?
Because of AI.
How? So how does that work with
Because AI will be able to kind of like give a vendor, someone who's selling their house, give them honest feedback.
Okay. Yeah.
Where as an agent, we're sometimes holding it back. There's a bit of smoke and mirrors.
Bro, see, you've seen, I don't even know to turn the cameras on. So I'm not very, people think you do a podcast, you're supposed to be tech savvy.
I thought you were tech savvy.
Nah.
Pretty disappointed.
No, I'm not at all,
Yeah.
So like some reels I'll use CapCut. That's about as good as I can get. But obviously, the reels that we use for the episodes, the edits here will take care of. But yeah, I'm not tech savvy at all.
I think AI will take a big chunk of it away because a lot of the work that you're paying for is stuff when they're doing like research or going through legislation or this and that, whatever. And they'll be like, hey, listen, $15,000 of your legal bill was me having to research everything. I mean, imagine if you could just go research this. Boom.
Well, I was having to play the other day and I put, who is Jared Purcell? Holy shit.
Was it just on you or Jared Purcell's all over the world?
On me. Now, I don't know if it's because I put it on my phone and because my phone, it has broken files. Like I didn't say anything about the podcast.
Yeah.
Jared Purcell is advocate for Broken Fathers podcast and had military deployed to this country. And but obviously it must pull stuff from, I don't know, I'm just guessing. It's pulled stuff from stuff that I've talked about in my episode and other episodes. But mate, it knew everything about me. And
that's the thing. Your daughter's going to look that up one day. Like I hope.
Yeah. You go.
And I was just going to say, I hope they know my name so they can look me up.
Well, that was the plan, That's why I did the podcast so fathers can leave the journeys, time and date stamp for the kids to look for in the future. Now, I'm blessed in the fact that, and I hope it stays that way, that I've been reconnected now. So, but regardless, in regards, because people are like, you're gonna shut the podcast down? Like, no, because I mean, I've got all my guests on to tell their story. I want it to stay there forever. Like, I'm not going to shut the podcasting down. I'll either pass it on to someone or retire it, but it's going to be there for, your kids and all the kids from all my other guests to see their journey later in life. But I don't know who's coming that story. I was waffling on.
No, because you were saying that maybe your daughter will look it up one day.
Yeah. Oh, AI. Yeah, we're talking about AI, and I put it in. I was like, man, this is crazy. All this stuff.
Did you like everything you found though?
I was scared. I was like, how does it not? And so talk about the deployments I was on, certain countries I've been to, people I've looked after. I was like, yeah, and like some of that stuff we're going, I've never spoken about that. Where did they get that from? You know? So it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do think it's going to like, I think it's got its positives and its negatives. I think the really scary thing is imagine another 10 years when people actually have the ability to make a fake DV video.
But I've said that. So this is exactly what I've said. AI is going to be used to get. You see the stuff on Instagram. These I'm thinking, is that real or not? Like they could make a 10-second video of me and you punching on.
Yeah.
And you could just go, look, this is Adrian punching me. And they go, oh shit, that's evident.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm thinking, man, that didn't happen.
I
And
know.
you can see some of the AI. You can tell some of it's not like the arm goes through the door. It's not exactly 100% correct.
But in another 5 years, it's going to be incredible.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, exactly. What? So, I do get worried about that because it's just going to like kind of put more smoke and grey areas when it comes to people telling the truth.
Yeah.
You know what's awful about all this that we're discussing? It's all got to do with people just not telling the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, right?
That is it.
So they're using AI to create some sort of truth. It's not the truth, but to
like when I read the affidavit, I know that my ex didn't write it. I know she didn't write it because she couldn't string two sentences together. I don't mean to be mean, but she got someone else to write it. And I read it and went, man, like if I didn't know me, this is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
You know?
And put it in, I was joking the other day, someone's like, oh, people are like, yeah, well, when you got to go court, you got to swear on the oath. Like, mate, that doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't.
Doesn't mean shit.
Not at all.
In the Bible, Quran, whatever you think. Affidavits supposed to be some sworn legal document, right? Affidavits. Yeah.
Because I've heard you discuss, like perjury.
Perjury, yeah.
Oh my God.
And so perjury, people are saying bring back perjury. What I found out through, I think Tracy McMillan, who I had on, she said, no, perjury is in place. They just don't use it.
Yeah, I heard that podcast. That was great.
Yeah, she was great. She's awesome.
And that is right. I've always known that perjury is there.
It exists.
And it never gets activated.
It doesn't get used.
Like never.
Right.
Like I'd be surprised if a mother's ever been caught out for perjury.
I think Tracy McMillan referenced one case, and I think Pauline Hanson referenced the same case where a woman did get done for perjury. I should look it up. I think it was in Western Australia. But, they don't use it. I don't know why.
Okay, so here's another thing to discuss, right? Well, you'd never be able to get a mother who's a perpetrator of parental alienation and has lied nonstop. You'd never be able to get them to do jail time for that, right? And the truth is, if someone came up to me and said, listen, you'll get your daughters back next week, and we've just found out that the mother's been lying for the last decade.
Yep.
We're going to put them in jail for a decade. I wouldn't want her to be in jail for a decade.
So there's there's a guy called Robert Garza in America. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a father leading the way.
Is that the guy with the suit all the time?
Yep. Yeah. So I've spoken to him. I'm looking at getting him via webcam. But the lawyer that I had on earlier this year, Nikolic, I think he's the first episode I dropped this year. He flew to America, met with Robert Garza, got his, I think it's like a bill or the amendment bill that he put across the line, and it's called Time Taken, Time Back. Now, what it is let's just say you've missed out on 3 years of seeing your daughters because of allegations that the mother made.
Yep.
3 years later, they found out that those allegations are false. You are then it's called Time Taken, Time Back. So they will then give you those 3 years that you missed out on and take it off the mother, if that makes sense. So, which, because they're trying to put in place, if you're not going to use perjury, you're not going to use this, let's put in some sort of, not tool, what do I say? Some sort of, I don't know.
Something to deter
punishment,
mothers
not a
from
punishment,
doing that.
but, so it's like, because what's that going to do? Well, that's going to make an example out of someone, and they're going to go, oh, geez, that mum got found out to be lying.
Oh, it would only happen a few times, and it would change. It would change the trajectory.
And that's what they're trying to put something in place that's going to, change, because they're not using perjury. And then there's another one called the
3-tier system.
Yeah, 3-tier system.
That.
Yeah,
I reckon that's a great system.
Great idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tony Nikolic he's done a lot behind the scenes. He's handed it over to Senator Malcolm Roberts, I believe, to try and he's tweaked it a bit to I don't know what to say, Australian version to get across the line. So I know One Nation are really pushing hard against family court. I've spoken to Senator Tyrone Whitten. He was the one that asked Penny Wong in Parliament recently. He said, "Well, if there's an office for women in this country, why isn't there an office for men?"
Yeah,
Remember
I saw
him?
that video.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've spoken to him. Absolute gentleman. I think he's a leader of this country. You know, he's a big advocate for fathers and males' rights in this country, and you know, so he's looking at coming on. But he, given the fuel prices, and he's in Western Australia, he said, "Look, I can't just fly there for a podcast. You know, it's not a good look either, especially with fuel. So that's fine." I said, "Can you just let me know next time you're over here for work, and then we can get you on. Otherwise, we'll do it via webcam. Ideally, I like to be in person. I've never done a webcam.
Yep.
But yeah, sorry, back to that. Yeah, so the perjury, you know, taking time back. I think that's a good one. So
Yeah. When I write to my daughters, I just let the pen
do the talking.
Write whatever
free,
I'm feeling.
Just free, yeah.
And out of the 500 odd letters I've written, 450 of them, I'm in a good mood. That's when I want to connect to them. When I'm feeling strong and I'm feeling in a good mood. Girls, this is what I'm up to. I wonder what you're up to. I miss you, blah, blah. But 40 or 50 of those letters, I'm fiery as, you know, and I write there sometimes, and I don't know how I'll be if this ever happens, but I write in there, if you girls are ever going to get married in the future, don't even think about inviting me to the wedding if I have to be in the same room.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm like, I don't know if I'll be like that. But the thing is, the idea right now, as I'm sitting here speaking about this with you, of being in the same room with a woman that has done what she's done to me, but also to us, the three of us, you know, my two girls, it's just confusion. Like, how could you turn so dark? You know, how could you be so evil? You know, I think lying about anything that is in the realm of domestic violence is disgusting. But how could you go so far?
To that extent.
And especially the person that I am, like, I just love my daughters. It's funny because, like, I always kind of am careful about not saying anything negative. For example, I've never called their mother, I've never said anything about her weight.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things that she's repeated hundreds of times to anyone who's willing to listen is Adrian calls me fat. Adrian has called me fat. And I've never said that once. For one main reason is I actually don't care. I don't care if someone's skinny or fat.
Yeah.
You know? But I used to be called fat by her, which was hilarious. But she would say it. "Oh, you wearing that top, it shows your gut. Oh, you look ridiculous in that. You've got a gut. You're fat. You're fat." And I'll be like, okay, no worries. But if I was to say that now, "Oh, listen, their mother's fat," she would like, "See?" And suddenly it gives credence to all the other times. See, the hundreds of times I said your dad said it. See, he said it now. So I don't want to say something now because I'm angry now as a 50-year-old man, you know. But I do want to say to my girls, one thing for sure, when you meet me, right, is one of us is lying. Either your mum or your dad, one of us is lying, right? Now, there's not one part of me that you're going to believe didn't want to see you for the last 10, 15 years. I've got all these letters clearly showing that every single week, every month, every year, I was thinking about you. There's so many things in my life, from like passwords for my laptop to, things in my life that I actually name after the two of you, you know. Once you discover the truth and you meet also my friends, you know that saying, show me your friends, I'll show you who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Once you meet my friends and you see us, and I'll go on a polygraph test for both of you, you've got to ask the question, "Hey, Mum, we've met Dad.
What's the go?
Like, what's the go?
What's the story?"
Right? Because I was never a domestic violence perpetrator before I met her. Then suddenly I was, and then I'm not anymore. Out of like 3-4 billion women in the world, I just decided to be a perpetrator in my late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, I know I'm waffling on right now.
No, but you know, I hear people say to me all the time, you know, your kids will see, you know, when they're older, they'll see it for what it is, and you know, I've had fathers tell me, you know, what happened was they reconnected with me when they're older, and you know, but you know, I won't lie, I do have some fathers that say, they never reconnected. You know,
I've had
they
that
were
too, and that's
brainwashed. You
so
know,
scary to hear, you know?
And that's why I can't tell every father that they're gonna get that happy ending again. And I don't have the magical answer. Like I said before, people said, oh, "How did you reconnect?" I just at the 2-year mark that I hadn't seen her, I'd send a message, and it happened. If I sent a year earlier, would it have happened? No, I think it's just gut feeling, timing, universe. I don't know, but
And that's going back to like, if that's going to be your journey and there's no guarantee to a happy ending, man, start enjoying life.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
well, that's and I tell fathers to say, one thing I do say is like, if I was to rewind a bit before I reconnected with my daughter, you got to get on with life. And that, I'm not saying you don't forget your kids, but let's just say your kids come back in 10 years' time. Do you want them to see your dad that's been the same for the last 10 years down in the dumps? What about this? What about that? Or do you want your kids to come back and see, fuck, look at that, my dad, he's strong, he's fit, he's working, he hasn't forgotten about you, but he's been the best person that he can be, so that when you do come back in life, you're going to be, I'm proud, that's my dad,
I know. That's what I want, you know? And and I'm not saying this to be funny, even though it's going to sound like I'm saying it, to be funny, but I do feel sorry for my girls, the way they're being brought up. Like, first of all, the whole family's Collingwood supporters. Boo. Right? And then that, I don't like the suburb they're growing up in. I don't like the lifestyle they're going to have. Their whole lifestyle is just going to be about, every weekend's about Collingwood for 6 months of the year, and I'm not saying this to be funny, right? But like, I'm a real foodie and I'm a chef, like qualified chef for like 30 odd years. I love to cook. Food means a lot to me. I know that the food in the household's got to be average, it just is. I love to laugh and dance and this and that, whatever. Also, my wife and I, we'd get cancelled for the jokes that we crack. like it's full of, we make Family Guy look like Mary Poppins comedy, And so I'd hate it if I cracked a joke with my daughters and they're like prudes,
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. But, and I just want to say as well, I'm so lucky to have met my wife, but I did meet my wife, to any of the dads out there who are single and looking to meet someone amazing. I did meet my wife once I allowed myself to be happy, once I got rid of all the bad people in my life, and not necessarily bad people, but they weren't healthy people. Everyone in my life, whether it was a work associate, a male friend, a female I was hanging out with, everyone was there just for like
using for something or wrong reasons.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that person's entertaining on Saturday night. That person's good to have a drink with. That person's good to have a laugh with. But none of them were really like authentic. And they were using me for the same reason. As soon as I got rid of all those people, worked on myself, started like doing healthy stuff again, whether it's reading, exercise, whatever, I met my wife. And even then, my wife, after a few months, was like, hey, listen, pull your finger out if you want to keep me. But I just want to say a big thank you to her, because her family, her entire family, and my wife had just shown me like something that I always wanted. Just,
oh, bless her, man.
Just beautiful love, I mean, you saw her today. She's just all smiles. She's actually like that all the time. We never argue.
I say this all the time. We have to have a bad apple to find the good apple, or to know what a good apple is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Man, I had the bad fruit and veg shop. Seriously, like I've had some bad friends, bad acquaintances, bad relationships.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm embarrassed.
But 38, I'm still learning,
Jeez.
So yeah. But in regards to the court journey, have we missed it? I know there's not enough hours in the day. Obviously, you've mentioned how many times you've been to court, the warrants, 1 day and 10 day inside. Did they ever make you do a hair follicle test, drug hair follicle test? Well, I said no.
No.
Was there any allegations of that? No.
Of
like drug use? So obviously I had to do one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
It's usually
to tell you the truth, that'd be laughable for me. I think the strongest thing I've ever had in my life is a Red Bull.
Yeah, I think it's more they get the other side tells the bum to say this because it will slow the process down. It will stop them from seeing the kids. I have to do this first before they have to do that.
Yeah.
So
I'm not scared of going through that process. I'm just scared that it takes so long.
It's crazy. Like my mate, tell me what type of system this is. He filed in 2019. It's 2026. He's still going.
Yeah.
The system hasn't sorted out yet. Well, it's not a system. How embarrassing would that be? Like imagine you owned a pizza business and it said, oh, hey mate, it's going to take me 6 hours to make this pizza. It's like 6 hours? What type of pizza,
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like it's
embarrassing. It's almost like they're hoping that you'll give up.
Well, when you book a trial, like when I went to trial, I went to trial and they said, "Oh, sorry, the courtroom's been used." It's impossible. I'm booked in today.
I had that happen too.
Yeah, and you know what? The lawyers told me, he goes, "Yeah, you are booked in today, but they're so backlogged. They're double booking, triple booking, hoping that they've either got the previous case wrapped up or it's fallen through because they're trying to catch up. But they're so backlogged. But hold on a sec. So I got turned away for the day, even though I'm booked in. So I still got to pay for my law firm, my barrister. That's bullshit. That shouldn't be allowed. I've rocked up here on time on the date that I was supposed to be, and you've told me that the courtroom's been used.
Yeah.
Well, but I still got to pay all my law firm for not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
It's so annoying, and you can't express yourself. Like I've been kicked out of court so many times just for not swearing or screaming, but just kind of calling the lawyer or the judge, dumb or a donkey or something like that, because I'm like, I just gave up my day.
And yeah, that's right.
And the
day,
amount of
time, money, and I've had I've used multiple barristers, and when I can tell when the barrister gets up and the judge starts talking, the judge just has it. I can tell whether that barrister's fierce or not. And when I see that barrister cower down real quick and not even get a word in, I think today's going to be a waste of time.
Have you ever gone to Supreme Court or any court just to watch for the day?
Nah.
It's bloody entertaining. It's really sad too.
But that's obviously criminal proceedings, not family court.
Yeah, like going to Supreme Court and you can just see what cases they have and you can just sit there. You just got to sit there and be quiet and just watch. That's when you know how stuffed up the system is.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember one guy was there and I went with my TAFE class and I got kicked out. And then the TAFE teacher made me, he wrote the apology letter, told me to write it because I refused to write it and then made me sign it, which I still regret doing. Yeah. Anyway, we went there and this person had 9,000 child pornographic videos and pictures on their laptop that they had collected over 4 years.
Let me guess.
Nothing at all.
Of course.
Nothing. Oh, listen, we got a letter from his employer at a tire place. He's been an exemplary employee for 2.5 years.
But if you reply to a message on the DVO, prison. But meanwhile, old mate with 9,000 fucking child porn, it's right, let him off.
Yeah.
And you watch the news, the pedophiles walking out of court, and because the judge didn't want prison time to affect his rehabilitation. So they're not sending him to prison because it will interfere with his rehabilitation. So
when you started any of those rehabilitation things, whether it's the men's behavioural health course or you had to do something or whatever, I don't know if you've ever done community service or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Did you go in there with I'm going to go in there with an enthusiastic, good attitude just to smack it on the head and get it over and done with?
No, I went in there with, mate, this is bullshit. This is fucking
I
bullshit.
couldn't help it.
I shouldn't be here. I'm here because I want to go see my daughter, and this is another hurdle off the jump.
Yeah.
And on top of that, and I said, I said to him, I said, I'm not doing this once a week for the next 3 months. We're going to sit here today.
Yep.
Or however long, and I'm going to do the express package, whatever that.
The express package.
Whatever that looks like.
Yep.
He goes, okay. And so because when I went and saw I walked in the law firm, I handed the certificate. He goes, how the fuck did you get this certificate so quick? He goes, I know fathers that. I said, mate, if I want to get something done, I'll get it done. I want to see my daughter.
Yep.
Here's this bullshit.
Okay, yeah. So that's the other thing. My lawyers just said, just admit to everything and the process of you having visiting rights and you'll be able to see them. And that's the problem. Lots of fathers are admitting to stuff, that then becomes the statistic.
And then becomes a problem later on used against them.
That's right. But it also becomes the statistic. So you get politicians or, university students doing their whatever projects and stuff like that and going, the statistics show that, 1 in 4 women are this or whatever. I'm like, no, they're not. And, 75% of men do. No, they don't. Right. We just go, yeah, okay. And I didn't want to. And if that's backfiring, I'll find out in the future. But I was never going to admit to DV. I just couldn't do it.
And you know what? Like, do I trust these people that are doing the statistics? Or like, I don't know. Like the way this country's going, I'm over. Like maybe I was going to say maybe moving England's a good idea, but England's far worse off than us at the moment. With the immigration and everything else. But I just I don't. I'm very anti-government, and by that I just mean look at the way the country's been run. But I just don't trust any system, whether it's family court, criminal court, just anything in general. Are we being the media? I don't trust the media at all. I've had people hit me up. You should get the media. I was like, no. Like if I was to get media in here to talk to me about my podcast, there'd be one condition. I'd choose what media it'd be. I'd choose Channel 7.
The final edit, and you get the final edit?
I'd say, you can interview me, but I will have my editor and my film crew here filming the 4th episode as well. Just in case you try and edit, chop it up. Because I know how easy it is. People can chop stuff up and make you look like an idiot. You'll come and film me, but I'll have my film crew here and we'll film the full episode too. Just so I've got my copy version in case you try and stitch me up. You know? So
you have to as an insurance policy.
Right. And who I learned that off? Andrew Tate. So, yeah, because the BBC came in and they tried to chop him up and make him look like an idiot, but he had his own crew there and film it, so.
There's a lot of stuff out there. It's got its own agenda. It's got its own narrative. I think DV has its own narrative. It has to be changed. One of the debates I did once, because I get involved in that occasionally, is the debate of I said that we've got to stop saying, and I'm not advocating any kind of behaviour, but we have to stop saying there's no excuse to hit a woman, right? Because the truth is there's no excuse to hit a good woman, right? And I've never hit a woman. I've been hit multiple times, in the neck, scratches, bruises, things thrown at me, this, that, whatever, right? But my big regret is that on the few occasions that I've seen mothers beat up their kids and the fathers don't do anything because they're too scared, you got to jump in. And I just want to say, one of my mates is a lawyer. He disagrees when I say that comment because he says it sounds dangerous. It sounds horrible. I said, if you came home and you saw a woman beating up your wife, you'll jump in. If you saw a woman beating up your daughter, you would jump in. You'd whatever, right? But the narrative is the commercials shows a lady that's like Mary Poppins cooking dinner, and then the husband comes in and just explodes, it shows a woman there sleeping in the car with her kids or whatever, blah, 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 It's a BS narrative.
So I'll support what you're saying here, and I'll look at the camera and say it. So my, I'll never hit the mother of my child, regardless if she was attacking me, because it's situation dependent, right? So I do protective service at the hospital. We deal with crazy males and females all the time. It's a different state of mind. If there's a female patient attacking me, I'll take it to the ground easy. It's part of my job anyway. Yeah. But because people say, I don't want to bring it up, but there was a time where the mother of my child was attacking me, and people say, well, why didn't you hit her back? I said, because it's different. Is she holding a knife? No, she's not holding a knife. But she's the mother of my child, and at that point in time, I loved her. So there's a lot of different moving parts. Whereas now, if there's people would say to me, "Oh, you never hit a woman," I can assure you, if a woman walked in this room right now with a knife, I would break her fucking jaw if she's trying to attack me.
Yeah,
because she's holding a knife. All it's going to take is her to cut me open. I could bleed out in 30 seconds. So I'm not going to just sit there and let her stab me because she's a woman. I'll easily just throw an elbow break. Or if someone's attacking my daughter, I don't care what gender you are. You can identify as a man, trans, female. I will fucking break your jaw. and I'll say that on camera because you're attacking my child. You know,
And
so
that's the narrative that I said. I know it's like dangerous territory saying that, but like I'm very protective of my wife. It's the first time that I'm in love and I care about someone more than myself, and like to be accused of that kind of stuff when you've never done it, and then you kind of think, you know what, you guys are getting away with everything.
Yeah, that's right.
The accusations,
they know that.
controlling the narrative. You've heard stories before. It's not that hard to find where there's been male commercials about male domestic violence victims, the uproar, and then those commercials have to be taken off.
Down.
Mind you, the one where it's showing the female victim, that'll get 3 years run on TV.
There's a couple that did a survey, like a experiment survey, and they're a legit couple, but they went out in public, and you've probably seen this on YouTube, and the guy starts, raising his voice at her, and people are like, hey, mate, calm down. And he starts pushing around. Every man and dog gets involved. Women, hey, mate, we're calling the police or blah, blah. Then they go to another location in the public. They change the roles. She starts pushing him around. Everyone's laughing, walking past, pulling out their phone. She starts pushing him and grabbing him by the throat. No one's getting involved.
Yep.
No one's asking if he needs help. People are pulling out their phone, laughing, filming it, putting it on Instagram. So, it takes a piss.
That's what I mean. It's like, we're just not putting the spotlight on all the perpetrators.
No, that's right.
The spotlight on female perpetrators of domestic violence, it might be small, but the spotlight on female perpetrators of parental alienation, that would be huge.
And people send me articles all the time. Just recently, a mother killed a 4-year-old daughter or something, and it'll get media. Like there might be 1 or 2 media outlets that publish it, but it's not. But when they do, the comment section's turned off. Yeah. But if it's a father that kills the kid or the partner, every channel's got it, comments turned on, blah, blah, blah. But when a mother does, a female, it's restricted.
It's because it's more of a sensational story. Sorry, not saying sensational in a good way, sensational as in, let me start again. It's when a father does a crime, like some of the crimes that have been done, it's disgusting. And sometimes I feel like female perpetrators of domestic violence, it's just a paper cut. It's just thousands and thousands of paper cuts. They're just, each thing isolated doesn't sound like a massive deal. Yeah. Like when I was speaking about my ex-partner hiding my shoes or taking my money or breaking my glasses or sending someone a text message, each of those things isolated isn't worthy of a jail sentence. Yeah. But those things every day, dozens of times, just you look fat, where you going to go, hiding my stuff, you owe me babies, swearing at me, yelling at me, those things every day, day in, day out. And then a man might react and he will react really badly. And I'm not condoning it. He might react by punching her in the head 6 times and this and that. And that's what the focus is on. By the way, I don't condone that at all. I think if you're a real man, you just get up and leave. Yeah. Right? But when there's kids involved, it's hard to get up and leave because you want to leave with your kids. But because I'm waffling on again, my point is that female domestic violence can look like just them nudging you all day long, every day, just busting your chops every day, talking badly about you behind your back, right? Character assassination, where a man's family violence is really horrific sometimes, and that's what makes the headline. And then what happens is that guy that hurts that woman in a really awful, evil way, he's not doing us any favors. Yeah. It's like, dude, we're all going through DV just like you. We handled it by going to have a beer. Yeah, yeah. Or some guys, and I'm not condoning this either, but they'll go in and have an affair. Yeah. Or they just walk out. Yep. They do something. They don't go and murder their partner, Yeah. I don't know if any of that makes sense.
No, it does.
And so I felt like the girl's mum, my daughter's mum, it was just paper cuts every day with me, just constantly just going at me, whinging. And then what really annoyed her more is that I'd go out with my mates. I'd go out on the weekend. I'd go and play sport, take a dance class, go to the movies. I was still having a great time. Yeah. It wasn't affecting me. So when she saw that it wasn't affecting me, Percy, what did she do? I know how I'm going to get him. You can't see your daughter. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm fumbling.
That's all right.
But, you can't see your girls. Yeah.
Using kids as pawns.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks a lot.
No, don't be silly. Listen, we've got 15 minutes left. But I've got some conclusion questions. But before I ask you the conclusion questions, I just want to make sure, have we missed anything?
I know. I felt like I was going all over the place. It's much easier practicing at home. And also, no offense, I enjoyed looking at Sonia while she was pretending to be you.
Well, look, I've got 6 questions, but I want to make sure, because this is your time, your episode. I mean, we've talked. You haven't seen. So what year was it? 20.
It was 2015 when they left. October 2015. October the 6th, 2015. The last time I saw them illegally was the 26th of August 2018.
Yeah.
I just walked into the supermarket. They were there, and I just had a great time. I filmed it as well. My daughter was going ballistic. Daddy, she didn't want to let go of my hand, and she was like, Daddy, can you come to my 5th birthday? And,
what's that, 8 years now? Like, I'm only at the 2-year mark, so I can't imagine what 8 years feels like. You know what I mean?
Believe it or not, the first couple of years was the hardest.
And then I suppose you concrete that mentality, right?
Well, that's the part where it's like, hey, I'm just hurting myself.
Yeah.
All of your friends, everyone in your inner circle, they all have different limits of how much they can listen to you and watch you as you keep falling. Some people, they'll exit after a month. Other people are there the whole time.
Yeah.
But that was all on me.
Yeah.
So, I can only control how I react, and the way I decide to react is to win while I'm losing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to have a great time.
Yeah.
And when my girls look me up, I hope that they're like, damn, Dad's like, he looks really interesting. I kind of want to see him.
Yeah.
And I know that when they come into my life, Percy, I have to be really patient.
Yeah.
I can't just sit there and go, finally, your mum's a nasty piece of work.
Yeah.
I know that I won't be able to run up to them and hug them.
Yeah.
Because to them, it'll be like a strange man hugging them. And I know they're not going to call me Dad straight away.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, hey, what would you like to call me? Do you want to call me Adrian, or do you want to call me Dad?
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to take some time.
It's going to take so many things to navigate, but I've got all the patience in the world.
Well, that's what I've got to, is my daughter going to remember? I like to think she is, she remembered me singing that song and that, but there's still going to be mixed emotions, scared, excited, anxious.
Yep.
Will she hug me? Will she not? But, we'll.
And that hug is priceless when you get it. The way you were saying that your daughter did something, like my little girl used to hug me and just always go like this on my neck,
squeezing it,
right? And then just like kiss me,
and
stuff. And my second daughter, she won't have any of those memories because we just never did anything. But one day, one day, I'm pretty excited. Girls, when you're watching this one day, I can't wait to meet you.
All right, mate.
Okay.
Conclusion questions.
Yep.
You probably already know what they are if you've been watching the episode.
Yeah, I do actually.
Mate, the first one. Any advice for fathers? Knowing what you know now, would you have changed anything during the court process?
During the court process?
Yeah. Or you know what? Just during your process at all.
During my process, I would have conceded that this was going to be my new journey, because no one in the history of DV has ever gotten an intervention order and then had the whole thing work out by the end of the week.
Yeah.
It takes months or years. It takes years.
It does, yeah.
So my advice to dads is, if you're going on an intervention journey right now, just straight away focus all your energy on positive thinking. Like, get that inner circle strong. Don't send any text messages. Don't even bag anyone. Just concentrate on yourself. Okay, this is going to last a while.
Yeah.
What can I do to keep myself busy? Join a darts club.
Gym.
Go to the gym.
Yeah, keep yourself busy doing good things.
That's it.
Gambling or drugs or partying. Or,
not stuff like that. Yeah.
No, good one. I like that one. How do we change the system?
This is a tough one, I think if we all band together, because I've tried to get things moving by myself. I'm sure you have as well. I think things like your podcast, there's other things out there, like I think one's called Mr. Perfect and stuff like that, where men meet up on Sundays all over Australia having barbecues. Just actually participate in those things. It might be emotionally exhausting, and if you're not ready for it, then don't. But when you participate, don't just like watch something, like it, subscribe, sign the petition.
Yeah, I like that one. Funny one. You're on death row. The guard comes and asks you what you want for your final meal, drink, and dessert. It's got to be a pizza, right?
No, it won't be actually. It's going to be chicken pesto fettuccine.
Oh, yeah?
chicken, pesto,
yeah,
cream,
like that,
fettuccine,
yeah.
white wine, semi-dry tomatoes.
Dessert.
But dessert would be my wife's tiramisu,
Okay, good.
and a drink it would be a scotch and dry.
Man, I've had so many people recently. Oh, we don't have a sweet tooth. I'm like, what?
Oh God, that's the best part.
Yeah.
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 No, but if it was going to be a pizza, it'd be
What's your go-to pizza?
prosciutto, bocconcini, fresh basil, sliced tomato. How about you?
Mine's so Pepsi Max on tap, like Postmates.
Oh yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hooked. I like Pepsi Max in the can, but Postmates is just a thing.
Yeah.
Sticky date pudding.
Yum.
Yeah, extra ice cream, extra topping.
Yeah.
And I always go Guzman, but it's either like an Italian dish or Lebanese dish or Greek, like that.
What's your heritage?
Yeah, so I look Lembo or Greek, especially when I have the beard. Mum's Aussie, dad's Kiwi, grandmother's Fijian, grandfather's Samoan.
Oh wow! But you've got a look that you could pull off anything.
Yeah, I can pull off Mexican, Lebanese. If I go to the beard, Afghan, yeah.
So, oh my God.
Yeah, man. I'm a bit of a licorice all sort.
Yeah, no. For the last meal thing, if it's not that, I love a palmy. I know we're served.
Palmy, yeah.
Can't go wrong. Anyway.
Palmy. If you're in a room with every single person you met or interacted with on this journey, who was the first person you'd be drawn to and why?
I'll be honest, my wife.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and the reason why is because when I discuss things with her, she's the very first person I've ever met in my whole life where she actually listens
and understands.
She doesn't necessarily understand, but she listens and she's present.
Mm.
And then if she thinks that she could add something positive to it, she does. But she's not one of those person that listens just waiting for me to stop talking because she knows what she's going to say, which I'm guilty of sometimes. Right? She just listens, and that's safe space.
Mm.
And I wish I had known her at the beginning of the journey because she would have made it easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't meet anyone in the beginning that I thought was, my mates were fantastic. They really were. But I feel sorry for them, to be honest.
Yeah.
They used to listen to me just rant and rave.
Well, yeah, and I think I've reflected since you saying that, and I think, fuck, there must be some mates of mine that go, oh, shit, like fucking. Obviously, I'm different now. I've got a bit more clarity coming at the other end, but during that time, negative Percy's probably same story, same view. So,
and sometimes that view, just because you don't care about who you offend, you end up slandering a whole gender.
Mm.
Like, before I met my wife, I was like, oh, women are the same, get stuffed.
Yeah.
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 And now I don't think that, which is lovely.
Yeah, that's good.
It is. Yeah.
What strategies or tips helped during the process that you could recommend to any listeners?
To tell you the truth, gym.
Yeah.
Gym and music, that really helped me a lot. And I feel sorry for someone who doesn't like exercise or doesn't have a hobby they can get into.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what it is. If you like playing, like my wife and I, we love playing chess, but the gym, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'd have weeks where I was going there 12, 13, 14 times a week.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes twice a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing pad work for me is great. I just hit the pads, just feel fresh afterwards.
I did boxing for a couple of years as well. That was great.
Yeah.
And allow yourself to get angry while you're doing that,
Yeah.
But just whatever you do, it can be, I don't think gaming is that healthy, but
I've never been a gamer.
I've never been a gamer, that's why. But
I've got mates, like even now, they'll go, they're 40 and they go home, they game until 2 in the morning. Each their own. I just don't get it.
I know, but whatever you get into, just like I write, I'm a prolific writer. And that helps, and you don't have to I'm not Shakespeare.
Yep.
So some of my letters are just stupid.
Yeah.
Woke up, had a coffee, I'm at this cafe, going to work today. 1 page.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm giving you a lot of answers. Sorry.
Nah, man, don't be silly. Well, you know what the last one is? Any message for your children?
Yeah. To my beautiful girls, I can't wait to meet you. And oh man,
yeah, I know. Trust me, but I was gonna say take your time, but I thought he might have concreted his mind here because
I did concrete the answer for this, and now it's just gone.
We'll take your time, man. Because this is the last one. Yeah.
So to my eldest daughter, I can't wait to meet you again. I'm hoping that when I sing the song that I used to sing to you when you were little, it reignites some kind of connection and memory. And I know that a part of your heart and soul is going to wake up when you meet me because, I think that we would have a lot in common as far as our spirit goes. And so I can't wait to hug you and just hang out with you and listen to all your stories. And to my second daughter, my youngest daughter, I can't wait to meet you for the first time. And I can't wait to find out who you are and then for you to kind of like suddenly see parts of yourself in me. And I can't wait to hang out with you. I can't wait to take both of you out and just shopping and eating and laughing and dancing and acting like clowns and introduce you to the beach culture of sunny coast. Yeah, that's it. I love you both so much. I miss you both so much, and you're gonna meet a champion when you come back into each other's lives.
Beautiful, bro. Thank you so much. Mate, how do you feel?
Very good.
That's
Thank you so much. That was
bro. Thank you so much for coming on, bro.
awesome.
Appreciate
Seriously.
it.